people to live like royalty. I think that it's very difficult, and I think it's quite challenging to live in today's society as your authentic self, because people may somehow, some way, and I think it's for those who do not know what it's like to be authentically, to live authentically and genuine, they will find you to be offensive. They will find you to be the problem. When reality, it is a social construct to make you be like other people and make you go with the grain and make you act and behave like everybody else act and behave. Um, and so going into this, what sparked this is, you guys, I literally been hearing for almost the past 2 years. I've never heard of this prior to, the Real Housewives storyline. I think I saw like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago now. But then I started hearing it in the everyday life, where people will be like, my friend's battles are not my battles. My friend's issues are not my issues. If my friend got a problem with people, that has nothing to do with me. And of course, I kept thinking to myself, like, I've never heard that before. Like, where I'm from, of course, if your friend has a petty dislike for somebody, we're not going to dislike that person because your friend is like, I don't like the way they looked at me when I saw them at that event 2 weeks ago. I don't like how, um, any type of assumptions. Um, if you don't know about what someone has done, you're just assuming. I think that would be foolish for me to dislike someone because my friend disliked them. But when it comes down to loyalty, because loyalty is a part of being a royal being, someone who is secured and identify with what it is that they feel that they identify with. And then, of course, honestly, living authentically and genuinely. Loyalty is an aspect, it is a trait. And I told this to one of my friends yesterday, like, I'm going to really start getting into knowing people spiritually, meaning, like, if you're not a praying person, if you're not someone who meditates, if you're not someone who's actively seeking out your spirit, I'm not fucking with you like that. Because I know that people who does not have a strong spiritual foundation, they tend to be very dramatic and drastic. And I feel like life is already dramatic. So to go through episodes of drama every so often is just crazy to me. And so either way, this group of people, they kept saying, right? And I say this group of people because I met them all around the same time, where they know people that know people. And they all kept saying, my friend battles are not my battles. And I would say, oh wait, you know who Keisha is? Or like, yeah, I know Keisha. And then before I would say, oh yeah, but her battles are not my battles. Like, what does that mean? Well, just because she's not cool with you don't mean I'm not going to be cool with you. And then it kind of made me go, question mark, right? Like, what does that mean though? And then of course, especially in this type of situation, because clearly you've heard about me, and clearly you know what type of energy that your friend Keisha give off, and clearly you know that Keisha give off the energy that it's like, girl, she's messy. She's a messy set. Girl, she's a drama set. And so either way, I had to talk to someone yesterday who I didn't even know was a relationship expert, you guys, because we're not gonna say, well, we are gonna say. So at a small, point of my reality, come on in here, Harrison, how you doing? As a small point of my reality, I wanted to be a matchmaker, right? Because I felt like I could see characters or characteristics in people, and I could match them, great. I mean, I even would sit back and watch like celebrities interact with each other and say they would make a good husband or a good wife. And sure enough, some of them will end up dating, and it's like, whoa, and they have not looked back, right? And so I feel like I would be good at matching that. But I got out of that, right? I was like, maybe this is not for me. But fast forwarding, someone who I met that I think is a very cool person. Maybe we'll get to interview him, you guys. He's such a intelligent person. He is, an author. He travels. He wants to go to, Spain next year, and of course, he would like me to tag along with him. He is not that it matters. So this is not a potential man for me, honey. This is a homosexual male. Not that it matters, but I want to point it out. He is a black homosexual male, and he is doing very great for himself. And so we are having our little group, conversations. He likes to do video calls. Is that funny? He's one of those, honey. He want to do a video call. He can't just call you on the phone. He want to call you on the video, say, "Hey, what's up? What you doing?" And so he brings in one of his little business associates, and his business associate was like, "Hey, And at first, I was like, maybe he's being a little messy because the business associate was like, "And what do I call you?" Right? But I'm like, well, I know he's not a messy person, so I know his friend is not, and so his friend is seeing what my name is, right? Oshun. And of course, he's all like, that's kind of a hard name for me to pronounce. He's like, that's a hard name for me to pronounce. So he's like, what do I call you? And then the guy was like, well, we call her, Oshun, Mia, or Goddess. And he was like, well, okay, well, I'll call you Goddess. And so we're just all talking, and they're talking about baking like this really cute, not cute, but they're talking about making desserts from home and from scratch, which I have been getting into, cooking my own meals and stuff. And so I thought, oh God, we're all in the same energy. And the guy, I'm asking like, what do you do? And he's like, I'm a relationship expert. And I was like, oh, really? And of course I want to be respectful of this man's time, y'all, without getting too deep into it, because I really want to keep this under 30 minutes. And so he's like breaking things down without me asking. And I said, well, I respect your time. If you don't mind me asking, I want to just ask two questions because this has nothing to do with me. But, I want to know because I pretty much know myself. And of course, I allow the universe to bring things in the way it should bring. And then of course I feed my brain the knowledge. So when experiences happen, I'm prepared for whatever. And so I asked him one question, and then I asked him the final question. The final question was, what do you think about friendships that the people will say, well, I'm cool with somebody that you're not cool with, but I can still be your friend? And what he was speaking of course, is boundaries, but he did mention that it depends on how the relationship developed, how long you've known the person, and also you knowing the energy the person gives. It comes down to being loyal. And then, so of course, I decided to go onto Google, and I decided to ask a question about what I just asked him. And of course, Google tells me, and I actually took a screenshot of it, where Google was saying that it's okay to be friends with whoever you want to be friends with, whether or not they like your friends or you like their friends or whatever. But it is said that being friends with someone who betrayed your friend is often seen as a lack of loyalty, as it can feel like you're accusing their harmful. It can feel like you are excusing their harmful actions. It risks damaging your existing friendship by violating trust and putting you in the middle of a conflict. Now, I will not say that it puts you in the middle of the conflict, but I do feel like your network is your net worth. And if you are seeing that one of your friends is shady, messy, lying, cheating, whatever the case may be, and these are traits that you do not possess, because I want people to understand this. This is what it comes down to. We're all different in essence, but my core values are my core values. And I seek to be friends with people who can help uplift me, and or offer me support when times get a little challenging. If your core values does not match my core values, which means they're not as tight or not tighter than my core values, we cannot be friends. We're not equal. And so you're not being put into the conflict of my issue with your other friend, or I shouldn't feel like I'm in the middle of the conflict you have with my friend, but now I'm questioning my other friend. Like, so what really happened? And then I'm also questioning you, because if it's a petty little disagreement or a petty little, once again, like they rolled their eyes at me, or I heard they were talking about me. That's not the same thing. Okay. Or if I've known this conflict, this person longer than you, the next day I'm gonna kind of say, well, I know this person's not fucked up like this or whatever. But these group of people that that are, in this little circle entanglement, they all have personality flaws. And even having a conversation, y'all, and I'm not someone to judge because, of course, as a spiritual provider, I am, a sort of therapist, counselor. I've even taken grievance counseling. I'm a certified grievance counselor, by the way. Certified, not licensed. I took a course and it gave me a certificate. And so either way, I understand, and also being human, I understand people's, energy. I'm a compassionate, empathetic person. And I'm always putting myself in people's shoes when I hear their stories or even when I see them. The human side of me will think an idea, and the spiritual side of me would say, but if that was you, how would you feel if people saw you like that? But going into that, right? These people will be like flip floppity. And I tell y'all, I do not like warm people, lukewarm people. I'm not a fan of that. If you are a lukewarm person, you need to get right and get right quick. Okay? You're either hot or you're cold. You're either all the way nice or you're all the way fucked up. And I can respect either or. I can respect already fucked up people, or I can respect people that are extremely got their shit together. When you're in between, or you play this role, because in between people, and I want to say this, become flip floppity people. And I think that's why a lot of scriptures speak about lukewarm people. Lukewarm people in spirituality we would consider neutral gray. Neutral gray people, one day they hate something, next day they like it. One day they like it, next day they hate it. And it's not even serious things that they like or dislike. It's the most dumbest things. Like one minute they think that pink look good on them, the next minute they think that pink look ugly on them, and it's just like, but how do you not know what looks good on you, what you feel comfortable with, especially over the age of 10? Because I think a lot of 10-year-olds know what look good on them, what they like. And so, either way, having a conversation, these people have spoken about um, energies that, I'm not going to say what type of energies, but energies that affected their outlook on life. And a lot of these people were sexually active at a very young age, y'all. And I don't care what nobody say, because of course this is science of a matter, and you can say whatever you want and how you want to say it. When you're a young, impressionable person, because we all been there, and you're exposed to energies and ideas that you should not be exposed to, it starts to fuck up your thought process. It starts to fuck up how you perceive things, because in that developmental era, which of course it starts at 4 years old, and it really goes into probably you're about being 27, all these experiences really mold you and make you who you are as a person. So if you're jumped into something or you're pushed into something faster than the average person, your brain will start to move accelerated at an accelerate, but it will go back and try to patch up the parts or the moments in life that it missed, right? And so what will happen is you will now start acting like at 40 years old, the 9-year-old girl who got slapped by by your mother and put out your house by your father. Now you were homeless from the age of 9 to 15. And so energies will come up, experiences will happen, and you will go back to that era without you even knowing it. And this is why I always say, and I always tell people, I love honest people. I love people who are straightforward. I love people who can tell you their flaws. I love people that can be honest and say, I don't know it all, but I would like to know it all. I'm not like you, but I would love to be like you, or I would love to be, just to be, share certain spaces with you. Because like I said, a lot of people act like they have it together. They will act like they're, I know about this, I know about that. I'm so together, I'm so together. But when you get to know them and you hear their story, it's like, damn, so you kind of lied. You kind of tricked me. And that's how it was with these three people. These three people, like I said, they were young. One was at 11. The other one was 13. and the other one said 9 years old, and then it was 11 years old, and then it was 15 years old, and then it stayed up until they were 35. Right now they're 37. So they had this experience with their abuser up until they were 35 years old, and it started at 9 years old. And this abuser is actually 9 years older than them. And so I'm sitting here like looking at them different. Like, so when we're fighting, you're not fighting me. You're fighting your abuser. You're not fighting me when we're having interactions. And so either way, now I understand why those people are saying that my friends' battles are not my battles. Where I come from and how I operate, like I said, unless it's a petty situation, if my friend is a good person and I know my friend is a good person because this is why I call this person my friend, and you're telling me that this person is a liar, this person is a fucked up person, and they blah 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 to you, I'm not gonna stop talking to my friend because I'm cool with you and I'm cool with them, and I'm gonna tell you this is my boundaries. My experiences with them are cool. But if I know that my friend is a little conniving, a little facetious, I know my friend is a little fake, phony, and messy, then I'm not gonna pick my friend's side over your side. And then I'm gonna say straight up, like, well, at this point, we can't be friends then because you don't like my friend and I can't be cool with you because clearly my friend offended you and I know this to be in my friend's trait. So once again, at that point, I say, yeah, I cannot be respectful to your loyalty by being your friend too. Of course, I'm friends with this friend, with this person, and I'm not going to be not friends with them because you're not cool with them, And this is the new friend coming to a relationship. Because even going to my own personal experiences, y'all, I have friends. Like I said, one thing about my friends, I may not remember every single story they have told me, but I do remember personalities. I do remember experiences because I remember my own experiences. So why would I not remember what my friends have experienced? And so even going into the sideline of all this, I befriended people. I had somebody's back. Somebody was homeless. Someone was being, picked on in the middle of Miami. And I jumped in there being Captain Save a Hole trying to defend this person. And of course, I start building enemies off of defending this person I did not know. But I did not care because I didn't know this person or the people that were like trying to attack me, right? So I didn't care. I was like, girl, I got enemies. Oh, well, but I made a friend. And so not knowing this person, I just knew that other fucked up people did not like this person, right? And at this point, I know this person was this fucked up. But as I got to know this person, I started to realize that something in this person's mind is like off. But I noticed that they wouldn't act a certain way with me, they would act a certain way with other people. And then so we had an experience where they felt like I was coming for them. And so they started reaching out to people. And these were people that once hated them too. And that's how you know you're a badass bitch. Because you're a badass bitch, people who do not like you will team up to try to take you out. It doesn't take one person, it won't take two people. Because see, I can tell people when I be having a dislike for people, my friends don't jump in my battles. When I have to read somebody down, I don't need friends, family, and associates jumping to read somebody down because I'm a bad bitch. Okay. And when I say bad bitch, intellectually, phonetically, and linguistically, bitch, I will cut you so deep that your mamas will feel it. Okay, so I don't need family and friends to jump in and be Captain Save the Hell. And that should be irritating the hell out of me too when they be trying to do that. Because bitch, you about to get a reading session as well. I'm gonna read them down and I'm gonna read you down too. Because you feel like you need to save them, and it's giving me that you're trying to save them and not me. Hello? Because you don't have to give me fuel. Girl, I'm a Gemini. I'm a mystical Gemini. I don't need fuel. And so either way, y'all, going on, we let it go. 2017, we let this energy go. But then they started getting wind that I was associated with new people. And they said, oh, no, 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 no. We got to stop these relationships. So then they started coming for, we're going to say character. They start making it seem like they were basically telling their stories. So basically, what they were doing is they were setting, and you know what did Todrick Hall said? It's her side, his side, and the motherfucking receipts. And I keep my receipts, baby. Hello, I keep my receipts, and that's like we said too, girl. When you think you lying to me, You ain't lying to nobody but your motherfucking self. Because, bitch, if I don't have a screenshot, I got a recording. If I don't have a recording, somebody else I told the story to, and they remember how I motherfucking told them the story. Hello. So listen, they ended up telling these people the shit that happened to them. They made it seem like it was my story. So they were like, I heard that your mama was a drunk. These are the new people. I heard that you called the airport and you stopped these people from going into Canada. I was like, what the fuck? Why would I do that? I'm like, oh, so they're switching around the stories, right? And so fast forwarding, y'all, they were hitting these new people up and they were showing them like old ass pictures, y'all, like intimate pictures, which by the way could become a legal situation because these are not like legal pictures or these are not pictures of me when I was on cam, you know, that anybody have access to. These are like personal, intimate conversations. And in California has always had the law that you cannot eavesdrop, screen record, or voice record anybody's, interactions with you without their consent. And so either way, they did that. They, took screenshots and all that good stuff, and they were sharing it with the people. And of course, the people was like using this as ammo when me and them got into it because they couldn't read me no other way. They couldn't say I was ugly. They couldn't say I was fat. They couldn't say I was nasty. They couldn't say I was broke. They can say anything else to me, right? Because these are the things that they represented: fat, nasty, ugly, and being broke. And usually when people fight with you, unless they're delusional, if they ugly, they're gonna call you ugly. If they fat, they're gonna call you fat. But these people are not delusional like that. And then so they were like, I got T on you, and they sent your file over. And so I'm sitting there thinking in this moment, y'all, like, so I can't fuck with y'all. Because it's not about this person not having an issue with you. It's about how this person doesn't know you, but knows me, and doesn't know that you know me, because you could be my brother's best friend. You could have been my boss that's trying to hire me. And the messy aspect is them saying, I'm gonna fuck up this relationship before it even starts. That's messy. That's messy, babe. So you're telling me you're not messy, but you're letting a messy person steer you into a direction that's gonna get your motherfucking ass read the fuck to motherfucking filth. And so even in a sense of where they said, girl, honestly, girl, sometimes your tongue be, and a lot of these ingenuine fake phony ass people say this shit, and that's why I stay on top of it. They say, girl, your tongue is sharp. The way your tongue be flipping and flopping, flicking and flicking and this and that, girl, you cut people. When you cut people, it hurts people and it makes them feel offended. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna apologize for that because I speak my truth, honey. And there's a lot of things that I could say to people when I'm having a conversation, but I don't, because I care about how people feel most of the time. Now, if you make me feel offended, I don't care if I make you feel offended. And clearly, you know what you did to make me feel offended because you're grown enough to know that. As a kid, you don't know what you said to offend people. And so for that, with that being said, is that's how I move. So my tongue hurts and it cuts deep because I speak the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And bitch, I'm going to tell you about yourself. When you think you're about to tell me about me, I'm about to tell you about you. Because I keep telling y'all that I pay attention to people. I talk a lot, but I'm very observant. Okay? I talk a lot, but I'm very observant. And there's one thing about me, I have good memory and I remember things. And see, a lot of people act like they have good memory. And I know there's something called, and before I get into that, we're gonna do a sideline. Hold on, before I get into that. Because I wanna talk about this. No, we'll come back to that, honey. Let's get into this, honey. Let me see if there's something called pseudo memory. Oh, it is. There is something called pseudo memory. Pseudo memory is also known as false memory, recovered memory. It is a vivid and emotional charged memory of an event that never happened. Pseudo memories are often associated with a childhood abuse or violence and are frequently recovered during therapy. Bingo. So people who have childhood trauma that has not been resolved, they will start to have a ability, which is called pseudo memory, And to me, like I said, I've never even Googled this. I'm gonna call things pseudo because it gives you that people will say, I have a good memory, but they don't have a good memory when it comes to important things. Right? They have a good memory when it comes to bullshit, but not important things. So that speaks about childhood violence and childhood trauma, which of course people don't tell you, they're not gonna tell you their business, but of course I know already. But I also feel like if I'm living an honest life with you and I really like you as a friend or as a boyfriend, if I'm being honest about life and I'm telling you I like to do this and that, I don't care about you judging me, I'm also going to tell you, this happened to me as a kid or whatever. But anyway, so I observe and I pay attention. And just like there's friends, and of course we're not bringing this up, to expose any friends, but girl, I gotta say this, y'all, because I always think about this when I think about pseudo memories, or I think about people be trying to think that they could pull a fast one over me. Right? Now there are situations that have happened, y'all, that I don't deemed important. I don't deem important, or it's a stamp, a bookmark in my life. So if it's a small little conversation that goes in one ear out the other because I'm intentionally making it go in one ear out the other because I really don't give a fuck about keeping up with the stats and information about it, I may not have an exact memory of it, but I can round up or summarize what was said in that conversation or that experience. And if I did not see it that way, that means it wasn't important to me. So of course, out of respect of the person who's talking about it, I won't say that. I'll say, "Oh, really? That's how it happened? Okay, well, whatever, because I want to be like, well, I really didn't give a fuck about it. So of course, I'm not going to remember the details. But when it comes to life-changing, important things like people being in danger, people feeling attacked, or any of that, I remember those things, y'all. Because for one, as an empathetic person, that's just a part of you. As somebody who's considered a helper, a healer, when someone is in trauma, you're going to remember that, right? Because that's just a part of your spiritual gift. So I'm going to remember that. But I kid you not, y'all, I had a friend that had a situation, and I remember they called me in panic mode, and I knew they were in panic mode because the way they were like kind of stuttering. And of course, the stuttering to me tells me two things. Either you're thinking of the story as you're telling it, or you're so shooken up by the experience, you feel like you may not remember the whole story. So you're stuttering, and the stuttering is not helping you bring back your memory, but it's helping you to kind of continue the story. And so I'm hearing it, and I'm just like, oh my God, what the fuck? And this around the time when I just barely like really start talking to this friend of mine, which we actually end up becoming close. And so they're telling me that they're concerned because they were talking to a guy, and this guy kind of ghosted them, and they didn't like that. And so they, out the blue, the guy reached back out to them, and the guy wanted to hang out. And so, my friend is like, okay, I'm going to get him, but I'm going to record this session. And of course, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, and we all have our own kinks and shit. I've done things that, were kind of like, secretive and stuff, and, whatever. I've never recorded people without their permission, though. But I've definitely done things, that are considered fetishes and stuff. So I was like, okay, I didn't judge. I was like, okay, maybe it's just a one-time thing or whatever. And then so, she record this session, and then the guy stopped talking again. And then I guess the guy do the same pattern, right? And then the guy came back, and I guess she like told him off. Like, and fuck her, just so you know, I recorded because I guess this guy made her feel some type of way, right? For ghosting her and keep coming back. I mean, it would make me feel used too. That's another reason why I learned to pick my men wisely. I don't care how good you look or what you have. I'm learning that if you're not my man, I'm not emotionally being connected to you. I understand the difference between fun and realness. And so either way, this friend ended up telling this man that she recorded the sessions. And of course, this man was livid. And of course, this man was like, what the fuck? Oh, bitch, I'm getting a lawyer because, bitch, I'm going to get you for this. And I only remember to show y'all because I shared this with another friend of mine And I say, I have this friend. Once again, I don't put names in it because you never know. These friends might meet each other. And I said, hey, I have a friend who blah, 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 blah. What do you think about that? And, they were like, you know what? She lucky that this motherfucker didn't come back and retaliate, because there are girls that actually have been retaliating against. I know 3 girls right now who are not living right now. 2 of them are transgender and one is a cisgender woman, by the way, who is not living right now because of stupid shit like that. And so either way, the she caught me because she was in panic mode, and she said, what could he do? And I just said flat out, like, he can't really do anything. I'm giving my advice as a friend, like, hey, he really can't do anything. But I wouldn't have told him that I had to record it. And even if he was to try to get into like getting lawyer to do revenge porn and stuff, then you could say some shit too, and he's not gonna go through all that. He's basically not gonna waste his time. And I remember stating this very clear, y'all, because even right now, like in this energy, I'm feeling it. Well, later it was brought up when his friend had a similar situation, because I know this about them. They do not like for men to ghost them. And who does? Who likes a man to give the idea that they like them? This is why I learned to communicate through my ghosting experiences, right? Men who do not want to commit, I've learned to ask questions like, so are we friends of benefits? Is this a one-time thing? Is this an ongoing thing? That's what I'm getting at. Because maybe first and foremost, when it comes to sexual activity anyway, I need to know your STI, STD status. And the most scariest thing to me is that people are actually having sex with people and they don't know that status. So if you don't have the common decency to ask about your relationship status with this person, whether it's friends only, friends of benefits, a one-time thing, then it's kind of scary, because that means you don't know about if they got HIV, AIDS, or any of that. You don't know. And so he said, for me, it's like, I want to clearly communicate, because I know the risk that is associated with having sex with anybody. But on top of that, like I said, I just want to clarify so that way I don't get caught up in this. My energy is not in this, and it's not a real situation. And so either way, we have this concern, and this person, my friend was like, it didn't happen that way. And so I'm like, so bitch, you calling me a motherfucking lie. And of course, I'm always willing to stand corrected, y'all. And so I'm like, so basically she's calling me a liar. And I remember the situation because I was actually concerned for my friend. Okay. And I even shared this with another friend, this situation. And I'm thinking about I shared it with 2 people. And they were like, yeah, she was wrong for that. And if she is someone of the trans experience, because I never said that, she's putting herself at risk. And I said, I agree. And so pushing forward, I asked God. And this is where people got to understand. This is what people gotta understand, y'all. And I ring my bell, y'all, when I feel the Holy Spirit come on in. That's when I ring the bell. When I feel the Holy Spirit come on in, I ring the bell. Because at this point, when this happened at night, and this also happened on a Sunday, that I was like a little bit irritated, because I was like, damn, like, if you're calling me a liar, and I know this situation to be true, because it had me concerned of you for 2 years. It had me concerned for your safety for 2 whole motherfucking years. Bitch, that's how traumatized I was about the story. And it wasn't my story. But now you're telling me, because you're over that experience, that I'm lying? That I'm just putting together this story? That you didn't try to blackmail somebody because they didn't want to fuck with you no more? Okay, so I told God, I said, maybe I am, because I'm always willing to give the benefit of the doubt when it comes to that. Like, maybe I did mishear things. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was me. Maybe I didn't pay attention to the story. Maybe it went a whole nother way. Maybe she called me because he had something on her and she was afraid that he was going to try to get her together, right? That's what I'm thinking. And so I just let it be. I let God have. I said, God, it is what it is. Revealed to me, y'all. And this is over the summer. So this is probably between this time lapse, this is probably like 3 or 4 months. And that's what I tell people. Patience is a virtue. Because when you're doing spiritual work, you got to allow that stuff to marinate and to manifest, because you don't know what type of work is being worked out. You don't know what type of energies that's beyond that work. You don't know if there's some type of mental psychosis. You don't know if there's a spiritual attack. You don't know if there's energy within this person that is designed to fuck over you, because it's never about the people, it's about what's in the people. Hello? And so I told God that, show me if I misunderstood and this person is really all honest and I misunderstood. I will never want to project any type of demonic or lies on people. That's not me. I had to testify to 3 crimes, and I didn't want to testify because I knew that these people's sentences was in my hands, and I did not want to go to this courthouse and forget the situation and now this person's going to jail for life because I did not know, or I in this moment couldn't remember the valid stories. It's like I said, I was never, and I will never be that person. I'll be comfortable to say I know for sure, right? Unless it comes down to something. And so I asked God, I said, God, if this is what it is, then reveal it to me. Let another situation happen to where they are redeemed of their honesty and I see it as, damn, whatever. Or let a situation happen where I know that they lie. And of course, situation happened. I knew they were lying, but I knew God was going to bring it. Like I said, I don't hold this against this person because, of course, I'm not that person. If we had a bad experience together, I overlooked it, and then I went into another experience happened. Now I'm throwing it all in your face. I'm not that girl. If I didn't like you as a friend then, I was going to end the friendship then. I'm not going to wait until another situation happened and say, well, girl, I'm not going to talk to you no more because of what happened then. And so this friend had another experience that was very traumatic. And it's so weird too to even think about within the past year, this person have had like 3 serious ass episodes. So I'm like, that's like, girl, that would be a warning sign to me from God, honestly. That, girl, I need to get my shit together. I need to like really go on a reset. Because I'm thinking right now, I'm like, damn, that's 3 major fucking things that has really happened this year that is like traumatizing, that will have people like in anxious mode. Anyway, and so a situation did happen. And this friend lied to me. And this friend didn't even have to tell me the story. And that's what I always think about too when people lie to you. You lied to me. You didn't even got to tell me the story because I didn't ask about a story. But the idea that you had to tell me the story and then tell me the story in a lie, it's like, damn, okay, so this person's just a motherfucking liar then. This person just lie about shit, girl. This person just make shit up. So it's not that they don't remember. It's not that they can't remember. It's not that, they just act or some way. It's that they lie. And maybe the honest version of them and the lying version of them are fighting about who's going to tell the story this time. And so I knew in that moment, because of course I forgot that I asked God that. I said, God, show me, reveal to me this person. Is they 100% honest or they have some lying traits in them? And of course, like I said, 3 to 4 months after this, y'all, this situation happened and bingo. And of course, I'm, believing it once again, like, oh my God, this is so fucked up. And oh my God, I hope my friend is okay. Like, y'all, I was getting ready to get in my car and let's go on a hunt. Let's go look for these people and blah, blah, blah. Like, I was ready, girl. When I tell you I was ready, y'all, I was motherfucking ready. Hello? I already felt like I needed to protect this person anyway, right? Because that's how I am when it comes to family and friends that I love and care about. I feel like I need to protect you. Hello? And so either way, honey, when this was proven that it was a lie and like it was a real situation, but it happened a whole nother way, I'm just like, girl, y'all, I was floored. I was fucking floored. I was like, girl, like I see if a bitch is lying to me over some motherfucking, like, hey girl, let me borrow some money. You're like, I ain't got no money. And then you find out, girl, you have 200,000 saved up. Well, girl, you can lie about that. But I'm like, lying for some dick, lying over dick. Like, girl, that's crazy to me. No shade. And so I remember these things, y'all. This is the whole point of me bringing this up. I remember these things, how dramatic people are so dramatic in their experiences. They will make shit up. Right, and I do believe that white lies are okay. I do feel like if it's a lie to protect yourself, if it's a lie to whatever, I can see that. When it comes to serious shit and you're lying, it's like, damn, girl. So what is real and what is not? What has been real all these years and what has not been real? Like it makes you question that. And so pushing forward, when they experience another experience that reminds me of not only the experience that happened almost 10 years ago, right? Where the guy ghosted them, came back, blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't also remind me of what happened a couple of months ago, but it puts these markers in my head where I'm like, girl, it's you. Like it's your personality. It's something about you that's making that, like, you're self-sabotaging. You're allowing yourself to get into this. You're being disloyal to yourself. And ultimately that's what it comes down to. You're not being disloyal to any of your friends, any of your family members. You're being disloyal to yourself. Because when you're honest and loyal to yourself, you don't care about what other people's perception of you. Girl, listen, just so you know, I was gonna be a hoe. I went to 7-Eleven. I was gonna suck a man's dick behind 7-Eleven because I was being horny and freaky and nasty. The man ended up robbing me. And now I don't have no phone. I have to go get a whole nother phone. Like, girl, that's how honest I am because I don't give a fuck about what you think about me. I don't give a fuck about you thinking that I'm a hoe, I'm a cheap hoe, I'm a nasty hoe, I'm a girl. I don't give a fuck because you don't pay my bills for one. And I even going into losing friendship and shit, girl. One thing about friendship that I want people to understand that friendship is not established. What defines a friendship is first and foremost you being uniquely you, you having your own energy, your own personality, and something within you connects me to you. Friendship is about respect. It is about loyalty. And on top of that, it's definitely about love. And one thing about love, loyalty, and respect is it does not lie, right? But even going into love, love is unconditional. So I like even thinking about this right now, having this conversation, as an adult entertainer, would my mom have wanted her child to become an adult entertainer? No. Did my mom think one day my most shyest child is going to be a cam whore or a phone sex operator or an escort or a hole sucker? Hello? My mama didn't think about that. But as her child, I didn't give a fuck when I told her how was it going to make her feel. Because respectfully, I was ready to say, well, girl, that made you feel this type of way, and I'm a grown ass bitch. I don't ask you for shit. Well, this made me feel this type of way when blah, blah, blah. That I was ready for that. But it didn't. My mom said, be safe. You're grown. You make your own decisions. If you're at peace with those decisions, I'm at peace with those decisions because I love you. And that's how I keep thinking too. I think that we base our love of our friends based off the love that we have for our parents and what our parents gave us, but also what we have for ourselves. Because some people love themselves. Some people didn't have the love from their parents. They love themselves and they're great lovers. So it's really about how we love ourselves. When you love yourself and you put in work to be where you're at right now, and I put in a lot of motherfucking work. I put in a lot of motherfucking work, honey. I still got work to do, but I put in a lot of motherfucking work. Because, bitch, I could have been a drug dealer. I could have been a drug abuser. I could have been a lot of stuff that's been put up on me lineage wise, bloodline wise. Can we talk about it? But that wasn't my story. And so I worked hard to be where I'm at. And to where if people are like, I don't want to be your friend because you're so honest, you're so upfront, you're so direct, then fuck you, girl. God bless you. Have a good life. Oh, I don't want to be friends with you because you're just so honest and you just say things and you just say things without thinking about it. That's definitely not true. Because I've seen people in person where I see them doing something and I kind of want to ask them like, why are you doing that? But that's not my business. So I learned with maturity. It's called maturing. I learned with maturity that, girl, everything that is understood don't need to be explained. So even if it's not the truth, if I look at you and I see a crackhead, in my mind you're a crackhead. It can't, girl, it's not the truth. Am I gonna tell you that? No, but I'm gonna treat you like you're a crackhead because in my mind you're a crackhead because I'm experienced with that. I know what it looks like. Hello, and that's with anything. So, like I said, for me, I don't care if you respect me or I lost all respect for you because you were a whore. Well, God bless you and take care, bitch, because you didn't pay my motherfucking bills. Hello? Where were you at when I was meeting up with a client to pay rent? You didn't fork out no motherfucking money, nigga. Bye. So I've always been in that state where I'm like, I don't care. Love me, accept me, respect me. I don't care. I'm my own person. I do what I want. I work on myself. I'm a hardworking person. I'm a loving person. And like I said, I give people the truth because I want you to give me the truth. If I stunk, I want you to tell me that I stunk. Yeah, I want you to tell me that I have stunk or I stink. If you felt any type of way about me, I want you to honestly tell me that. That's what I do too. If I felt any type of way about you, depending on how sensitive you are, and that's something too where I'm kind of over that sensitivity stuff, where I'm just like, yeah, we're all sensitive, we're all fragile. But if you could dish it, you got to be able to accept it too. If you could blur it out and be like, hey, your wig look kind of dry, then I should be able to come out and say, hey, you look a little dumb. I mean, I feel like in friendships and relationships, we have to be able to be honest with each other anyway. So I would want you to tell me, hey, just so you know, this makes you look um, basic or whatever. Yeah, same thing with me. I'll say, just so you know, you're looking dumb. You're not really, that knowledgeable about yourself as you think you are. And so I would encourage you to get to know yourself a little more because clearly the common denominator that you're having with all these experiences is that you don't know you. And of course, even going into this too, y'all, oh my God, four situations. And of course, this is not to bring this up because I don't know, if she's watching this or not. But a fourth situation, there was like a client situation, and this client, y'all, and I just want to say this, y'all, for the record. Can we just say this? Something that I've learned about LGBT people and people that are allies to them or attracted to them, we're gonna say LGBT attractors, suitors. I feel like there's so many varieties. There's so much varieties of us. Is that they are like a kid in a candy store, right? Especially if you're a new type of girl, you're a different type of girl, right? Because a lot of the people in my area, they're like basic, bummy looking. They might also present as they're not. Because we've seen it in pictures, we've seen it in videos, but in person and or in energy, you're like, oh girl, this is a peasant trying to act like they royalty. And so when the guys really see a woman, or a person who is of a particular caliber that are not just acting like it, they really are royalty because it's a vibe, right? Being a vibe is what's important. They want it. And so they're willing to like, girl, like, hey, I want this. I'm willing to sacrifice some things to get it. And so either way, I've learned this that it's like a candy store. Like they have options. They're gonna explore all their options before they decide which option they want. And I think it's very insecure. I think it's very telling. We're gonna say that. I think it's very telling if you feel like threatened or you feel like a get back, right? In the sense of this guy wanted me, but now he also wants somebody I know, and now I'm gonna cuss him out when this is just a client. This, oh my God, y'all, I literally, this just came to my mind right now. Oh my God, I'm actually gagging right now because I totally forgot about that. So the story was that my friend was trying to get, her sugar baby on, and she was trying to like elevate and get her sugar daddy, get her some money and get her this, because she's like, girl, I'm trying to stack up, stack up, stack up, stack up. And that's going to be me this year, girl, girl trying to tour the world and get sponsored and stuff, you know what I mean? Because of it, you know what I mean? Because bitch, by October, there's some things I want to get, girl, that's going to cost me some money, money, money. So I need some men to give me some money, money, money. And woman too, if you got it. Ow! But anyway, so y'all, that's what she said. So I don't knock a girl's house. I'm like, girl, yeah, you gotta stack it up, girl. You gotta get in where you fit it at. And so they met this person, and they met this person off of Grindr. And Grindr, as we know, is just, everybody can get on Grindr. It's a free app unless you want to not see commercials and shit. But everybody gets on Grindr. People can have multiple profiles on Grindr. We know this. It's not an exclusive, exquisite, top of the line app. It's actually considered one of the most bottom of the barrel apps. And so either way, they meet this guy off of there, and of course, it's a guy that I'm not into. It's a guy that they're not into neither because they're not into particular type of man. I don't need to say what type of man it is, but they're not into those type of men anyway. They prefer men on the complete opposite scale. Let's say, for a good example, if they don't like white guys, they prefer black men, and vice versa. If they don't like black men, they're going to prefer white men. So they prefer them to be light and bright. They could be white Arabic, white Spanish, white, whatever. They like whiter looking men or whatever. The opposite of what they don't like. And so either way, I know this is their type of man. It's not my type of man either. But for them, it was a client type of thing either way. And so, they started talking. I guess this guy bought him gifts. And then I don't know if the guy got bored with it or if the guy said, well, hey, I want my cake and I want to eat it too. So, I see other people. Let me hit up all. Because I'm sure if he hit me up, he's hitting up everybody else as well. So I guess when they found out that this guy hit me up because, and of course, I shouldn't have done that. I told myself too, yeah, girl, when people are like in your inbox stuff, girl, keep that shit to yourself. You could tell your lesbian friend, you could tell a friend who's not into any type of man at all, but people that are into men or people that are men thirsty or dick hungry, girl, you could not be sharing with them who what went out because girl, they'll fuck around and get you fucked up too. And that's what ended up happening, right? I didn't get fucked up, but she ended up like cussing this guy out and I wanted to be the only one. I don't know verbatim what she told him, but she ended up blocking him allegedly. But allegedly, he had her stuff even outside of this. He had her snap. But after this man was even more persistent with me, and I just ignored him. And of course, I could have blocked him, but something I know with Grindr and all these other apps, if they see that you block a lot of people, they will block you. You will get taken off these platforms. They want to see interaction. So that's why I didn't block him. But then on the flip side to that, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, y'all, there was a weird guy that's probably been in my area for the longest of time who actually stalked me. And I know who he is now. In the pictures, he looked like a whole nother person, but I know who he is now. He used to work for Pizza Hut and he used to drive a burgundy Honda Civic, and the Honda Civic got fucked up. And then I'm assuming drinking and driving. And then he had a girlfriend who was this petite, white looking Hispanic girl in a white 4-door Prius. And so long story short, y'all, he assumed that I was her, like she was me, I made an account and she was my fake account. And so he started reading me down to her, start calling me all these fucked up names and stuff. And either way, she allegedly was going to be keeping and communicate with him to learn things about him. But I had to show her to Spirit, like, girl, I don't need you to stay in contact with this man to know anything about this man. I don't need you to reveal to me. Like, at first, I was thinking that, but I always step into my power. I'm like, girl, you are a witch. Like, girl, you're not like these mundane people. Girl, you're not like the average Joe and bro and doe and co and hoe. Girl, you are a super hoe. You are a super Joe. You are, girl, the fuck? You don't need her to find out who and what he is. Go to God. Go to your source. God is going to tell you who the fuck he is. And so I did. And bitch, like I said, my human side of me was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But the spiritual side of me said, God, who is this? Bingo. It was revealed who it is. Is he alone? No, there's 5 people in total. One in particular, boom, boom, and I saw that person too. And she actually said that this guy hit her up, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh yeah, he's connected to her. And now I seen the 4th guy who's connected to all this too. He's a weird looking, I'm not gonna say weird looking. He's a deformed individual that has some type of birth defect. And he drive a blue Honda. And so either way, y'all, she kept in contact with this energy. And once again, like I said, this is not to bring it up or any of that, but like right now we're in this moment now, it just came over. I'm just like, yeah, girl, that's crazy. People have hit me up. People have talked about people I know and care about. And I read them the fuck down and they got blocked. I have no associate. I do. I mean, unless I'm expecting to hear some tea to have as ammo on my friend, or some tea to have as ammo on my enemy or whatever. Girl, if once I see you don't like somebody I don't like, or you don't like somebody I do like, girl, I'll keep my distance from you. Because the same way that you over here trying to get tea from me is the same way that you're going to try to get tea about me, right? And the same thing with that. So it's like, oh, girl, I would never want to sit on. But I feel like now there was more so, oh, bitch, you're talking to one of my people. Even though this is not one of your people, I'm still going to talk to that. And as I said, honey, in that moment, I decided, I kind of said out loud to my friend too, in that moment too, this is why certain type of men I'm going for, certain type of men I'm not going to go for. The type of man that I am going for, girl, he's going to want you to have your shit together all the way. He's going to want a particular tier of woman, respectfully. The ones who I don't want, they're going to accept any and everybody. They don't care where you are in your transition. They don't care where you are at in your lifestyle. They don't care where you're at with how you're living. They don't care about if you got your own, if you don't have your own. They just want that transgender or femboy experience. Those are the type of people that I'm not interested in, that I'm not seeking out. And honey, when I do find out that's what you're giving, baby, God bless you. No shade. I'm raising my bar. I'm raising my standards. And that's just that. How you doing, baby? And so anyway, y'all, let me go, honey. That's it, honey. Come on in, Half True Sky. How you doing? Yes, honey. CJ, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yes, honey. We're just coming through here talking about loyalty. And a lot of people in this group, just the other day, I'm sitting here, somebody came to me crying. We're going to call it how it is. Someone came to me crying, and they were not crying really, but they were crying. They were just like, I got to meet the other goddess, and the other goddess was like talking about they were going to read me down because you know me and blah 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 blah. And my gay mother was like, oh, but she's so sweet, she's so sweet, to this other messy bitch, right? Now mind you, this other messy bitch, y'all, I've not been friends with this bitch for since 2017. We started being cordial again in 2018, but we still were not that close. Like, they were trying to come to my house, and I said, no, honey, you go to a hotel. Baby, I had 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, girl. Yes, they could have definitely came to my house, okay? But I did not want them in my house because we're not cordial. We're not friends, we're cordial. And so either way, just something shady even happened in that. And so I just kept my distance. And then 2023, I decided to 2024 stay cool with this person online. And then they were basically doing messy ass shit. And so, long story short, I ended that friendship, and now they've just been on this rampage. And so, that person, we're gonna call her Manuel. We're gonna call her Manuel. That's what we're gonna do, Manuel. So Manuel hit up my new friend, and they're going at it. And then this other person, this messy ass queen that works in Baltimore Hospital, by the way, she's a receptionist. She's a butch queen. Honey, she thinks she's a woman though, girl. She got big titties, a big ass, girl. She thinks she is so femme fatale, girl. Girl, she thinks she is cuntier than Tyra Banks, girl. She said she's another EJ Johnson, girl. No shade. No shade, girl. She says she is fishier than Tyra, and she slay all the black trannies, especially the black ones. Okay, girl, word. And so either way, y'all, she's crying to me about this situation. Like, hey, girl, she was like coming at me sideways, and I was telling her, like, your battle is not my battle. So, like, girl, you don't have to like my friend Mia, but you and I could still be cool. And that's when I had a fucking laugh. And I said, girl, let me tell you one thing, bitch, about where I come from. Because now I'm stepping away from you. Girl, I don't give a fuck what it is. Unless you're telling me this bitch is about to pay your bills. Girl, yes, be cool with her so you get some motherfucker. But yes, girl, do what you gotta do to survive. But you're telling me to my motherfucking face that you don't have enough friends, that you need more friends to where you're willing to be friends with a bitch that doesn't like your friend, and your friend already told you the story. So it's not just a fact about some petty shit. It's about this bitch is a betraying ass, lying ass, conning ass person. And you heard firsthand people coming into the room, girl, asking questions to clarify in front of your nasty ass. And you heard this, and now you're just still like, well, yeah, your battle's not my battle. No, girl, you're not a trustworthy person. You're disloyal. And you're disloyal because you are a victim and you have not been healed from your victim complex. So you cannot be trusted. So, girl, we are not going to be on the fucking key. And I'm not going to be sharing with you my business. I'm not going to be going over shit. Whatever business you got about me, girl, good luck. And I'm glad it wasn't a lot of business. Cause I'm that girl. If I girl, I'm that girl, honey. If I don't know your deepest, darkest secret, you don't got my deepest, darkest secret. So you know enough that people could probably find out on their own, but you don't know shit like that. Hello? You don't know shit like that, honey. Like deep, deep, deep shit. And so either way, that's what it was for me. And I was like, baby, I'm getting on YouTube tomorrow. This is just last night, y'all, too, when this happened. And I'm just like, girl, you have to, like, one thing you grown ass people got to start doing is taking accountability and responsibility. And you need to also hold your friends accountable and responsible at the end of the day. We are enabling psychos. We are enabling sociopaths. We are enabling liars, cheaters. The world is so fucked up because people are aware that people are liars and they enable that liarness. People are aware that people are cheaters and we enable that. And then we want to sit back and say, oh, I don't like cheaters. No, you do like cheaters because you were with somebody who was a fucking cheater. So I would be the one, because I was never a sideline bitch. Client type of business, I was a sideline bitch. But to call somebody married, my man, that's never my story, babe. So if I was ever in a situation where somebody like had me think that they wanted me, but they really didn't want me, I would have, yeah, I would definitely have a breakdown. I mean, girl, I mean, I wouldn't, but I'm saying like I can see that for myself. But it's kind of like when you know energy, you know energy. So if you were in that energy, you're like, well, I'm not really concerned about what is going on over there. Because of course, people can say that they're feeling good about something, or hey, I really don't want to be here. Well, bitch, divorce. Because that was my story. Divorce. I knew a guy since I was in fucking high school. And of course, I didn't know him. I knew his friend because his friend dated my friend in high school. She ended up getting pregnant by him and all that good stuff. And then I think he ended up going to juvenile hall. And then after that, I didn't see them no more. So we ended up talking. But this motherfucker was married. He didn't tell me he was married. And when he told me that he was married, I start stepping back. Because I'm like, girl, you don't pay my bills, for one. For two, your dick ain't all that. You're a good looking guy, very in shape, military Hispanic man, male. You're girl, you're hot, but the dick wasn't all that. And the same shit you give me, a client could give me. So he starts saying I was stepping back, and now he's like, oh, I got a divorce. Like, he starts stepping up and showing out. But what put the ice on the cake for me is when I found out there was somebody else pregnant. And he was like, well, that's what God put me on this earth to do, is to be fruitful and multiply. Well, baby, good luck. Because, baby, I'm not going to be a stepmother to 25 fucking kids. Hello? Respectfully. Not going to do it. Love the kids, but I'm not going to be a mother to 25 fucking kids, girl. And then now, before you know it, I become legally their mother. And now you leave me to take care of these fucking 25 kids by myself. So that's just how I feel about it. And even going into the wife who did not know about me, and even the baby mama who didn't, I felt bad for them. Bitch, I was like, oh my God. And he was like, oh, my wife already knows about you and she don't give a fuck. Listen, it's not about her not giving a fuck. I'm thinking about me. I'm the whole piece of pie. I'm the whole fucking cake. I don't want you to have no motherfucking side piece. I don't want you seeking in other people what you can get from me. So that's what I put in myself. So like I said, karma is sometimes real. Karma will show you what other people are feeling the time that they need to feel. And there's no shade with that at all. I'm just speaking the truth here. And so, like I said, for me, I understand different elements, but as adults, we're not taking accountability and responsibility for what we have done. We want to say it's my fault. It's my fault. As a victim, I was robbed before. And of course, I could sit here and say, oh my God, they robbed me. They pulled out a machete and the other one had a gun. And I have to give them all my money and even my jewelry that I had. But on the flip side to it, it's like I knew I shouldn't have walked down that road. I should have let my friend walk down the road by himself, and I should have took the longer way there. Cause see, he was lazy and he didn't want to walk the long way. He wanted to do the shortcut. Baby, I could have walked in heels the longer way. Hello, I was in some heels, honey. Yes, girl. They wanted the heels too. They thought it was some real snake skin heels, girl. They wanted the boots off my feet too. But either way, girl, like I said, we got to take accountability and responsibility for what we're doing. So the same thing with that bullshit. Sister, you're not accountable and responsible. So this is why you want to be friends with a friend who ain't friend with a friend that you like. Because you say you like me. So what is about our friendship that you like and you cherish and you respect? But you're willing to get to know a bitch that doesn't like me because I'm real. Because I never did anything to fuck over Manuel. Me and Manuel, we stopped talking because Manuel was in every guy's DMs trying to get dick pictures from them. Manuel was trying to expose men who knew they were going to get exposed, and that's why they didn't want to fuck with Manuel. And so these guys are hitting me up, and I got sick of it. And not even to mention that, but even going into the other situations that happened, there was two guys in particular I was talking to, potentially three, and these fucking oh girl, that's I'm like I feel like all trannies have a secret competition with each other. And I don't classify myself as a tranny or transgender, by the way. I do say it for y'all's sake and y'all purpose, but I'm a motherfucking woman. Hello! I'm a motherfucking woman. Hello? For the sake of layman's, I do say transgender and transsexual stuff. But baby, for the sake of the Holy Spirit and nothing but the Holy Spirit, I'm a woman. Okay? So I'm not at competition with that bitch, that hoe who's born with a penis or don't have one no more. Hello? Because, girl, we have the same challenges in motherfucking life. So I will never look to you and say, damn, I wish I had that. So, with that being said, I think a lot of transgender people are at competition with each other. And they want what you want. They got to prove that they can have what you have. So, they want to look like you. They want to act like you. They want to walk like you. They want to talk like you. They want the man you want. And if they don't even want the man like that, they just want to prove to themselves they can get it or get him. And that's what that was. So, girl, the motherfuckers were like, let me have it. Like, girl, I was getting blocked. Like, are you sending this person to hit me up? And I think she told one of the guys that too. Like, girl, you told me to hit this guy up. I've never told you to hit that guy up. That guy had fucked up ass yellow teeth with dirty ass nails. I'm not sexually interested in any man who cannot brush his teeth or wash his motherfucking hands. Bitch, that's one thing about me. And two things for motherfucking sure. If you can't brush your teeth and wash your motherfucking hands, that means you don't wash your motherfucking ass or your motherfucking dick. And that'd be another fucking problem with you nasty assholes too. This is why STDs and STIs are running rampage in the motherfucking community. Cause y'all like anybody who will give you some fucking dick. And they don't have to use a condom. You don't look at their nails. You don't look at their teeth. You just say, oh, I want it. The dick look nice. I need that. The fuck? Bitch, you can keep that dirty ass, smelly ass, cracked out, weed out, cigarette ass dick over there. Honey. Hello? I like royalty. I like golden penises. I like golden bodies, honey. I don't like anything that everybody can have. And that'll be the first thing to get your ass cut off too, girl. When I know that you're dicking down just any and everybody, and I see the types you're dicking down, girl, it's a hard no for me. But see, that'd be a thing with a lot of people that don't value yourself or know what the fuck you're worth. You accept friendships from everybody and you accept dick from everybody. Even after you found out that these people are friends with people who are not worthy of friendships and people that's not worthy of their motherfucking dick. You're like, but I'm still willing to give it a chance because they made me feel some type of way. Girl, that's what you get. This is why we don't fuck with community trade and we don't fuck with insecure ass females. This is why we don't fuck with insecure ass people. Girl, you cannot trust a lukewarm hoe. You cannot trust somebody who I don't have a type. I like men, women, boy, girls, black, white, skinny, straight, tall. If I vibe with you, I vibe with you. Well, what is a vibe, girl? Because the first day we met, you were vibing with me. And you didn't know what color panties I had on. Oh, so what vibe to you is if they could suck a dick. What is a vibe to you is if they're willing to let you fucking without a condom. Oh, girl, we're not the same type of man. We're not the same type of energy. Yeah, you're not the type of man I want, honey. Yeah, we're not the same type of energy. But like I said, people make excuses for what they want, and the girl, that's your business, honey. Respectfully, I like what I like, you like what you like, and it is what it is, and that's what makes the world go round. But this is where you find people that are also in that same frequency, girl. I would hate to be somebody who has a reputation for being uppity, prissy, a bitch that's a boss, a bitch that holds her own, and be seen with and or oh, this is my cool friend, and they're like, well, she's so easy though, or he's so easy, or he's a liar, or he's a fraudulent person. Oh yeah, they got a truck for writing bounce checks back in the day. Like, girl, what? Could you imagine what that does to your reputation? So for me, it's like this is why you hang up. What they say, birds of feather flock together. Girl, egos does not run around with crows, baby. Hello, blue jays does not roam in the same herd as geese. Okay. And so that's what it comes down to. And so I was just gagging at this girl and how she really thought that she was about to just, well, girl, that's not my battle. Well, listen, it's not your battle, but hey, I'm going to allow you to pick this. I'm going to make you pick the side, and your side that you're going to be picking is you being cool with that bitch. I wish you the best, girl. Your other friend is messy. And this is what, and I know you talked to this friend because, girl, we brought you into a little private conversation, and you came out and you talked about that conversation. We made a Discord. We're having a private conversation Discord, and you come out and say, "Oh, y'all in the inner thoughts. Oh, y'all on the Discord having a conversation in front of everybody." And that's when I said right then and there, don't invite her back in that group. And I said that right there to the bitch's face because I'm that bitch. Don't invite her back to that group because she's messy. Don't let her come back in that group because just how she just blurted that out loud, that means that everything that we talked about, she's telling these people. She's hearing the conversations and she's going back to these other people and telling them that. So if y'all want to keep y'all secret a secret, don't let mama back up in there. And now mama's gagging because she has not been invited back in there. Oh well, keep her ass out, honey. I think she's a cool person for the most part, but she's very flaky. She's a great spirit, honey. You cannot trust people who are liars 100%. You cannot trust people who are also messy and petty. Because like I said, with what they say, the older you get, the more wise you get. Girl, my pettiness is if you try to fuck me over, I'm going to fuck you over. My pettiness is not that you made me feel some type of way and now I got to make you feel some type of way in a sense of, girl, you thought that you had one on me. Like, girl, I'm going to just stop fucking with this bitch or whatever. Now I'm going to try to expose people, you to people. That's not my get back, girl. I let God come in and get you where he needs to get you because somebody else is going to get you together. And that's what's happened to one of my enemies now. I let God get you together, girl. Okay. Anyway, that is a real Sunday word. Come on and have to Scott. Mister, you are a speaker right. Oh, that's right, honey. Oh, Lord, you got me hollering. Come on, CJ Taylor. Okay. I'm just saying. CJ Taylor, girl. These people be trying to play in people's faces, girl. You can't play in my face, honey. Let me see. It's crazy how you have so much self-awareness and control over your life that you make hard tests look and sound easy. That's what I've always admired about you. I'm not as strong-minded as you yet, but I definitely plan on fixing myself and learn the trait like you. I guess you could say I get very intimidated by some other people's energy, but let me say this. If somebody disrespects people I love, I definitely go into defense mode. I can definitely tell you stand your ground effortlessly. I'm not sure why, but you give me Pisces vibes. Okay, well, listen, I give you Pisces vibes, girl, because that is my ascending. My rising sign is a Pisces. Ow! Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Oh, girl, I heard the remix today, y'all. Like 2 different remixes to it. Girl, it is so amazing. And fix them step kids. Me, I know that's right, but okay. Fuck them step kids, okay. With you Marcy vibes. Oh Lord, you gotta be hollering. It's true though. He really thought that. And let me tell you this. This man, let me tell you about this person, right? And this is I told you I want to do a video on relationships and I want to do one individual on each one, right? Separately, right? This guy in particular, this was like a manly man. This man is never questioned as me being a woman of a particular experience, trans. He never questioned his sexuality. He never questioned his gender identity. He never questioned his gender role. And that's what I liked about this man. And the crazy thing about it, this man is a Sagittarius. So this man was he was very he knew what he wanted. He knew like everything about it. Even when we were in teenagers, he knew like this is a manly man. Like this is a strong man. And so even though his flaws were not being honest and upfront about the woman that he liked, and he liked women and this and that. Because even when the wife hit me up, she was like, "There's six other girls," and I was like, "Well, I don't know if she know the tea about me being trans or whatever." And of course, I didn't out myself. He actually told her that she's a transgender. She's different from these other people because she was like, "Girl, you're not different. He treating you like everybody else." And he told her like, "No, she's trans, so she's very different." And so that's what I think really gagged the set. And so public events, private events, because we didn't just go inside, we went outside, girl. We traveled. Um, he was very secured. And even where I would be like distant, where I'd be like, ooh, like if somebody clocked this man for being with me and they're like, this is a man and he's with a man, and bro, this is a nigga. Like this is what I would think. I'm like, he might switch on me and uppercut me or something, right? And of course, this is fucked up to think this, but that never happened. I think one time we went into a place and there was like three black people. Of course, I was the black people. And they were looking, and the guy was like, I think that's a nigga. And he just kept saying it, so I'm ignoring it, right? I'm like, I'm ignoring it, girl. I'm like, ah. And then the guy, of course, talks to this guy, my boyfriend at the time, and he's like, "Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?" He's like, "Nothing much." He's like, "Cool." And he said, "So what are you into?" And this is what he's asking. And my boyfriend's like, "What? What do you mean?" And he's like, "What are you into?" And he's like, "I'm into her." And he's like, "Oh, you're into her?" And I guess in this moment, the black guy panicked. And he's like, "Oh, okay, you into her. Okay." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm into her. Everything about her. Yeah, I'm into her." And he's like, "All right, cool, bro. Well, okay, all right, you take it easy, bro." And that was that. And when we got in the car, he was like, I was hearing what they were saying, that you might be a man and stuff." And he's like, "I didn't care about that. Because whether you're a man or not, I love you." And so that type of shit right there is what kept me wanting to still be with this person, because I felt safe. I felt like he's a very intellectual person, so I enjoyed our conversations. There's times that we would, have our moments together, and we would just cuddle, and I liked that about him. He wasn't always sexual, and I loved those experiences, y'all, and even the times where times where it's a little dark for me, and I think about this as well, like. I feel like every time that I felt empty inside, or I felt like something was shifting in my life, God always put people in my life. And that's why I don't hold him accountable for anything, because I know that purpose, I know that experience was to prepare me for when I actually do settle down and have my man, right? My own man. But those lonely nights that I had where I could have been on Craigslist or Reddit or any of these things looking for just a random guy to come and cuddle with and put myself in a fucked up situation, he was actually there to cuddle for me. And there's times where he called into work, y'all, and he was about his money, girl. And that's the reason why I couldn't believe he was married, because honey and his wife didn't know about me like that, because girl, he worked a lot, but he was always at my house a lot too. There's times where I made this man lunch before he went to work. There's times where I had dinner cooked for this man when he got off of work. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And he was, take a shower and spend it out of my house. Like literally stay a night. And he even kept clothes at my house, to where if he stayed a night, he would, you know, um, already have the clothes ready, so he can get up at 3 o'clock and go to work. And so like I said, it was just a lot, honey. And this was years, y'all, of building up. This wasn't like 2 or 3 months. This was years. And not saying 2 or 3 months matter, but I'm just saying, like, this was like moments and moments and moments. Like, I could look back on at least 365 nights of cuddling and intimate times, and not just a sexual experience. Even going into this man not really being spiritual, he grew up a Catholic, and actually teaching him about spirituality and teaching him how to properly light a candle and how to say a prayer, and connect with Lady of Guadalupe. I even saw in one of the pictures that when I did my little investigation on him, towards the end of me leaving out of Stockton, that he had on the altar Lady of Guadalupe. So that means that my spiritual teachings stuck with him. And I also said that too. I said, you know what, Mama? This is my conversation to Lady of Guadalupe, honey. I said, you know what, Mama? If my blessings from you was to give you to him, and then I'll teach him how to venerate you. And you brought him his new girlfriend who was pregnant at the time when I found out about this and blocked him from all social media because I had no more conversations for him at that point. Um, I was at peace with that. I was at peace with that. I said, honey, because Lady Guadalupe more than likely allowed this woman to get pregnant by him because this is what it was giving me, honey. Like I said, I saw that little dresser thing on the back, and yeah, I think I still got a screenshot of this too, girl. Should I blur out his picture and show y'all Lady Guadalupe and his background on that? He had a nightstand, a dresser right by the window, and honey, Lady Guadalupe was right there, and so I'm like, honey, if that was the greatest gift that I left with him, I did my part. Hello. And so that's what it is, honey. You know. Anyway, that's it. And girl, damn girl, his clothes at the house, cooked dinner, showed affection. Girl, you should have been the wife at that point. I love how traditional you are when it comes to you showing your love language. Oh, definitely, honey. One thing about me, CJ, I come across very tough. I come across very masculine, some people may say, because I know my shit. But when it comes down to a household and partnership, I'm very traditional. You're not gonna get me just by dicking me down good. You're not gonna get me just by saying that you find me hot and attractive. Because there's men that said that and they sent me 20,000. There's men that said I was hot and sexy and they pay my rent every day. Hello? They sent me money. They sent me cash apps every time I need some cash app, and they sent I need my nails done. They sent money over to get my nails done. So for me, I'm very traditional in the sense of, girl, you gotta earn this status for me. And even going into the little things I did do for him, CJ, that was my way of showing him, okay, we've been on each other for some time now, baby. When are you gonna put a ring on it? Because I think at this point, I was like 29, 28, 29. So I knew this guy from the age of 15. 15, we did not see each other for 2 or 3 years. When I came back into Stockton, because when I started to transition, I actually left out of Stockton because the guy I was dating, he was a MMA, uh, shit, I don't know if I want to say that yet. But he was a part of that league, and he was, getting signed, and he was starting to get his money. And so he's like, baby, you can't be in Stockton. And so of course I was there, but I wasn't there. And so either way, people got wind, right? Because Stockton ain't that big. They caught wind that, this person is a transgender. And girl, I educated myself on this shit, y'all. When I tell y'all, I educated my shit on what is meant to be a trans person, a transsexual, not a transgender, but a transsexual. Like, girl, like, even the doctors were kind of gagging at my knowledge. So they're like, what? Y'all, I had 3 doctors when I first started my transition. I had 3 doctors. I had an OBGYN, I had an endocrinologist, and I had an internal medicine doctor. And they gagged. And I told y'all a story about the internal medicine doctor. She was an Indian lady, and she just could not believe that I had barely started hormones. She's like, no, me looking at you right now and me knowing about transgendered and intersex people, yeah, I can tell. And of course, she's picking up the intersexism right there, just so you know. Because a little bit of hormones, girl, it blossomed me out, girl. I took hormones for a little bit of time, girl, and I was already fish. Hello. But she was just like, girl, I can't help you out. Unfortunately, yeah, this is a little too extreme for me. So I went to the African doctor. The African doctor, strong African man. He was very strong African man. He was a twin brother, actually. And his twin brother was actually my mom's gynecologist. But he was like, oh my God, you're going to do so good. And this is your beginning stages. Oh my God, you need to stay on and you need to be consistent because, baby, you're going to blossom. And I see some real good people and he started dropping people. But anyway, when they caught wind about me being in Stockton and I was a transgender or a transsexual there, it's like it opened up the floodgates, y'all. It's like it opened up the floodgates because they were like, "Where? Who is this? I gotta find this person." And I almost was like, "Was there a backstory somewhere? Was there like a Reddit post about it?" Because people were so intrigued about it, girl. And I'm not being funny. Like I'm being very serious. People were very intrigued about me being trans. A trans person and being on hormones and stuff like they were like, girl, it was almost like being violated. They were like, what the hell? What is going on here? And I'm trying to be low key. I'm like, girl, I'm trying to transition into being a woman and I want my past to be here. And so either way, he was like, I always knew you were feminine. I always knew you were going to be this feminine, ultra feminine goddess that you are. And that's when I first heard the term goddess and someone referred to me as a goddess. I was 19 years old. And I said, a goddess? What is a goddess? And I started like, tapping it. And what I'm saying, I know who gods and goddesses are, but we're talking about for people, right? I've always, distinguished myself from that energy. Like God and goddesses are beings that are up and they're superior to other people. And I'm just a regular old bitch trying to figure it out. Hello. And so he told me that, and he was being sent over there to, overseas, and y'all, that was tough for me, y'all. That was tough for me, honey. When he did his first tour, um, overseas, y'all, and it fucked me up because I thought my man was gonna die. I was like, he's gonna die, my man's gonna die, and he's like, I'm gonna write you every day, and I'm never going. Ooh. Anyway, y'all. Long story short, girl, it was some tea, and then of course we separated a little bit because I was like, girl, he's over there, and I think in one of his letters too, he was like, I'm overseas. I know you're a woman, and you need a man to hold you and protect you. I don't mind if you talk to other people. So I was like, are you breaking up with me? And of course we're writing letters to each other, y'all. And he's like, no. But until daddy comes back home, you go out and find another man. And then of course, I did, and then that was a fucked up situation. He almost took me out. And literally only one person who knew about this were no longer friends. And he's actually related to my sister. That's the crazy thing about it. He's actually related to my sister. But we'll talk about that another time, y'all. We'll do a story time, y'all. We'll do some story times down the line. We'll talk about some teas, girl. Hello. And I told you, girl, one thing about me, girl, I keep my receipts. People be like, girl, she just be talking. No, bitch, call me the queen of receipts, girl. I keep my motherfucking receipts. Hello. Okay. I keep my motherfucking receipts, motherfucker. I keep my motherfucking receipts, motherfucker. Can I say motherfucking receipts? Ow! Motherfucker receipts. I keep my motherfucker receipts. Hello. Let me start saying that and I say motherfucker. Motherfucker receipts. Let me stop. Listen, like hold on, let me see. I'm not looking at y'all. Let me see. Y'all, what time is it? Oh, girl, I gotta go. Would you say Vitamin D and cheesy? Listen, okay, let me read this and I gotta go. 20K. Miss, would you say that Guadalupe, Santa Muerte, and other saints are different interpretations of the same Aztec deity with different traits? No. So, Lady Guadalupe and Santa Muerte are not the same energy. They come from the same source, they're not the same energy. Lady Guadalupe, and we talked about this even in the Santa Muerte class, we have a class on this. When you are worshiping or venerating darker deities like Santa Muerte, you need someone lighter to balance them out. So a lot of times when people are working with demons, oh, let me not give that tea out. No, let me not share that tea. Well, let me say on what I was getting on. Lady of Guadalupe balances out Santa Muerte's energy. So Santa Muerte can be employed to do certain workings, but she will go crazy. So you will invoke Santa Muerte to do some type of work, and let's say you have an enemy that's coming for you, and you're like, Santa Muerte, I need protection from this enemy. In your mind, you're thinking, okay, Santa Muerte, you're going to protect me from this energy to where they cannot reach me. But when Santa Muerte is put out there, she's gonna say, "Oh, well, while I'm here, let me get this bitch together. Let me get that bitch together. Let me get this one together, that together." That's why I will only use Santa Muerte for the very last resort. That means if everything I've tried with this person is not working, I will pull out Santa Muerte, because once she's out and that energy is invoked, she go for everything and everyone connected to that energy. Even who the people that you thought were innocent, she fucks them up too, baby. And then, of course, you have some areas in your life that's not clean. Very much like Kali Ma. She will also get that area cleaned the fuck up too. And what I mean by that is if there's habits in you that you have not cleared up, that you're doing that is fucking you over, she will make sure that you not get fucked over with that shit again. So that means that if you have a habit of something, let's say you're a drug addict and you're trying to get rid of that habit, but you still can't shake it, she will have it to where you overdose. Hello? She will have it to where you overdose. If you have a fear of being dead, you have a fear of death, she will make it to where you have a very near death experience to where you're actually holding on, like, oh my God, I feel like I'm dying. Lady of Guadalupe tames that energy to where when she does come out, she stays on course. Because she comes out by herself, she's fucking everything up. Okay. And so they're not the same thing. But of course, if you are me and I am you, then we are different aspects of each other in that sense. But no, there are two different deities, two different energies. And yeah, and even going into Aztec goddesses, I think that Santa Muerte is her own Aztec goddess. Yeah, I think she is. I think she's actually, um, yeah, she's actually her own goddess, honey. Just like Lady of Guadalupe and the energy she come from, she's her own goddess. And a lot of these deities as well are actually European colonizer deities, honey. So don't think that because every deity that is venerated amongst the churches and stuff is native, because there's something called the Black Christ that has been indigenous to Central America. Hello, Mexico, all the way down to the tip of South America. Hello, let's talk about it for a minute. And this deity has been venerated for a very long time. This deity resurfaced during the 1400s, and they were alluding that this deity looked dark skinned because it was burnt, but it actually was a black deity. They called him Black Christ or Cristo Negro. Okay, hello. This deity has very much have a lot of power. This deity is over oppression. This deity have freed people, just like they say High John has done, which I don't believe. I think that High John is another white given deity. What they call it? Al Sharpton, if you want to say hello. If you wanna will it, hello. We're not gonna get into that though. We're not gonna get into that though. Okay? We're not gonna get into that dough because we're not gonna start baking shit that we can't bake right now. So we're not gonna get into that dough. You get it? Instead of saying we're not gonna get into that though, we're not getting into that dough because we're not baking that up right now. Hello! Mystic, would you? Okay, I already read that. Ooh, come on, 20K. That's good. So the magic, the syncretism brings it almost like an agreement between Catholicism and shamanism or animistic practice. So a lot of religious practices that we have that you can go get a book on were given to the people, and the people adopted that worship or that veneration. People were alleging that the African people came to America on a ship and they were worshiping their orishas and loas. And when they got here, they did not want the African. I want y'all to understand this, how bullshit this shit sounds. Because God has spoken. They were alleging that these Africans could not venerate these saints, that they needed statues and idols of these saints to where these saints were being used as replacements of the Orishas or the Loa. And so they started venerating these saints because they could physically see these saints, and that if these masters came in, these slave masters came in and they saw, they wouldn't say, oh, they're doing their voodoo. Y'all know how stupid and dumb that shit sounds? Our ancestors knew that magic started in the spiritual body. And they know that the spiritual body cannot be seen. The greatest magi, the greatest sorcerer, sorceress, operates in the spirit. We don't need physical statues. The physical statue is a reminder to us when something go down that Oshun has my back. The physical statue is when something go down, Archangel Raphael has my back. When something go down, Ganesh has my back. I don't need these statues to venerate these motherfucking deities because they're in the spiritual realm. If the power of Oshun is in my heart, I don't need a saint to venerate her. If the power of any Orisha or Loa that is my God is in my body, is in my soul, is in my spirit, I don't need no motherfucking white face statue to depict that energy for me. But see, they dumbed us down when they said that we worship the Catholic saints as replacement for the African gods and goddesses because we could not venerate our gods and goddesses. That is a motherfucking lie. Because you gave those saints power. And some of those saints were colonizer patrons to keep you enslaved and to keep you motherfucking oppressed. And that's, I say, going into modern day society right now. Because like I said, the Holy Spirit has spoken, honey, and people are not listening. The Holy Spirit has always spoken, and you're not listening. You're too arrogant. You're too egotistical to listen to it. It's the same way how y'all, Jesus gonna get it right. God gonna get it right. I'm going to church to the pastor, and the pastor gonna pray for me, and I'm giving the pastor tithes and offerings, and I'm giving the pastor my $10,000 check. And yet you're still motherfucking oppressed as a nigga in America. You're still motherfucking disliked as a woman in America. You're still motherfucking treated bad as a colored folk in America. But yeah, you go to church 3 or fucking times a week. You be fasting and praying. Oh, I fast and pray. And the good Lord brought me this new house. And I fast and I pray. And the new house, the Spirit of God brought me this new job. Girl, you are still motherfucking enslaved. Wait, hold up. God brought you a house that you got to pay the motherfucking slave master still to have. God that you prayed to, they taught you to pray to, bless you with a job that you still got to work to make the white man richer. No tea, no shade, bitch. See how crazy that sound? And there's scriptures in the books that speak about oppression. Oh, come on in here. And we're going to leave that with you, honey. We're going to leave that with you. We're going to leave that with you, honey. Because if you feel like you are oppressed, if you feel like you are in distress, if you feel like somebody got their motherfucking foot on your neck, there are scriptures against that. And that'd be the other thing too, where the Bible says, do not worship idols. This is the same book that the slave masters taught these Negro slaves. But instead of them saying, we know you have African gods and goddesses, worship this statue to connect with it. But they didn't say no idol worship. That's idol worship still, babe. That's still idol worship. If I gotta have a statue of Saint Barbara and I gotta light a candle and do a prayer and all sorts of good shit, that is still idol worship, babe. Hello. That is still adultery. Idolatry. Hello. So you see how they got you confused in the mind, body, and the spirit? Hold on. Hold on, honey. Hold on. I'm looking through my little tea right now. I'm looking through my little tea, honey. Hold on. Because a lot of times too, and I want to do a video on this specifically because we don't got the time today, but I'm gonna do a video on this. Oppression is not just what people think oppression is. Oppression, depression is a form of oppression. And as I said, that everything that we encounter is not always spiritual, but it is. Something that I know is, well, we're gonna wait for that. We're gonna wait for that because I want to have more time on that, and I really got to get going, honey. I haven't even got on my bike. I want to do 2 miles on my bike, honey. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. To release oppression, we want to work with the planetary energy of Jupiter. Now, it's not coincidence that Jupiter deals with territory. Jupiter deals with the home. It also deals with the finances. It also deals with financial blessings. Banks also work under Jupiter and Mercury energy. The bank system works with Jupiter, Jupiterian, and Mercurian energy. You want to work with the colors blue, purple, and red when it comes to feeling oppressed, and it depends on what type of oppression you're feeling. But these are the 3 colors. And if you're really nasty, you want to get white. You want to say to yourself that the oppressor no longer has power over the oppressed, and that their strong staff shall be broken. And of course, you're going to read Psalms 129. Now, to a second part of this, there's another scripture that you're going to read, but Psalms 129, and it's actually in the book of Kings. How? It's actually in the book of Kings. Come on in here. It's actually in the book of Kings. Ow! See, ooh, it's like fire in my bones, honey. I'm trying to contain it right now, but see, I just like, ooh, girl, I can't. Ooh, God, it's I got, God, We gotta hold off on that. I gotta gatekeep that part. Hello, I gotta gatekeep that part, bitch. Hello, because a lot of people are not ready for that teaching. They're not ready for that type of teaching. Psalms 129. And Psalms 129 is very short, by the way. It's only 8 verses in there. And it says something along the lines of, many a time have been afflicted me from my youth. May Israel now see. Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, yet they have not prevailed against me. The plowers plowed upon my back. They made long their furrows. The Lord is righteous. He hath cut asunder the cords of the wicked. Let them all be confounded and turned back that hate Zion. Oh, come on in. Y'all got to understand what the hell Zion is, too. Hello. And if you don't know what it is, please do your research on Zion if you want to tap into this. Because, see, the more you know, when you know about what sunders is and afflicted is and prevailing is, and you understand what furrows is and what even righteousness is. Because, see, we have to understand that words are foundations to something. See, the words build up something. In order for me to know where you're going, I got to know where you started from. And you start by the words. Oh, come on in here. So you're not ready for that type of teaching. So when you learn what asunder means, and when you learn what righteousness and afflicted is and prevailed is, and also Zion, then you start to see and feel what this prayer is actually doing. It is a rejoicing of the spirit. And so either way, it says, let them be as the grass upon the house tops, which wherefore it groweth up, wherewith the mower filleth not his hands, nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom. Neither do they which go by say, the blessing of the Lord be upon you. We bless you in the name of the Lord. And so it is saying what is good for the goose is good for the gander. And in order to be an oppressor, you have to know what it's like to be oppressed. And see, a lot of people are oppressor because the oppressed don't know who they are. And so they give these people power for no reason. We call racist white folks white supremacists. Who the fuck gave them that type of title? motherfucker, you're a supremacist and you dumb as fuck. In what world, in what level of spirituality is ignorance supreme to anything? And see, that's what we have to get back into, of knowing what the words are and what they mean to us, because every word has a spirit attached to it. And I've understood this and I've learned this as a child. Every word has an energy to it. Every word has a color that's connected to it. Every word has a spirit that's associated with it. And so when you're using certain words with me, I'm looking at the energies that's behind it. And so this is how I know when people are motherfucking lying to or tell the motherfucking truth as well. And see, that goes into the spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment, that's something else y'all want to get into too. The spirit of discernment. Can we pull it up? And I'm really going to be done. Ow! Woo! I gotta go run right now, y'all. I feel so good right now. Go running. Ow! I gotta go run. That's how good I feel right now. I gotta go run right now. That's how good I feel right now. Woo! Woo! Listen. Oh, gas, honey. I gotta go take my babies for this run, honey. We gotta go run that bitch. And it says the spirit of discernment. Oh, come on in here. Is a spiritual gift or capacity. See, it's a spiritual gift when we talk about spiritual discernment and we talk about spirituality. But it said the capacity to perceive the true nature of a situation, distinguishing between divine, human, or demonic motherfucking influences. And see, you gotta be awakened. You have to be awakened. You have to be in touch. You gotta be in feel with what exactly is being said onto you. And see, that's I said, a lot of times people have good intention, but it be the demonic influences that they welcome in to fuck you over and do things to you. I always said that some people could be good people, but what's in them won't let them be good all the way. Hello. Some people are good people, but what is in them won't let them be good all the way. Something that I learned about people that comes from a good light and people who has no light is when you come from a good light and somebody fuck you over, you go into solitude and you allow the Holy Spirit to make a move. When you come from darkness and you have no light within you and somebody fuck you over, you want to get back. You want to get back. You are not a king. You are not a queen. You are a peasant because you have no connection to what is divine and what is high. You have no royalty blood in you, honey. And that's what be pissing me off for people because they be acting like, oh, I'm a king, I'm a queen, I'm a royalty, and this, that. You're not. You're not. Stay in your place. You're not. As they would say on Bigo, a gifter needs to stay in a gifted place. Yes, stay in your place. You cannot battle with the big girls and the big boys because that's not you. Honey, I don't try to get even because you fucked me over, you talked about me. Because I know that God is going to handle you because I know where I come from. And bitch, nothing that you do can stop anything that God has done for me. And one thing that God has given me is the mind to motherfucking think and the words to motherfucking speak. So I'm very intentional with the way I speak. Going into other actions when you do not know about God, because God has not showed up and showed out, and God has showed up and showed out, you just don't want to see it. Every experience that you've had, God has proven to you that there is power within you, and you didn't listen to it. You didn't listen to that. You said, oh, I don't really care about this. I don't care about that. So now you have no foundation on or structure. You may try to present yourself as that, but that's not what you don't have a foundation. You don't have structure. And like I said, going into getting back at people, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And it said that everything that is above you is so beneath you. And so I understand that, girl. If my intention with you was pure, I don't got to burn a candle on you if my love and guidance for you is pure, because God sees all things. Hello. The universal God is the one eye that's in the sky, which is the sun. Hello. The sun is the left eye. Hello. That eye sees all things. And the right side is the moon. And when the moon, even though you don't see the moon still sees things too. In the daytime, the sun sees it all, and at night, the moon sees it all. So as long as I'm in my truth, and I've given you the best that I gave, and the best that I have, and my intention with you was pure, you could fuck me over. You could be a liar. You could be a cheater. You could be a condescending ass bitch. You could be a traitor. You could betray me. But trust and I tell you that this karma will hit you 1,000, if not 10 million years fold. And it depends on your bloodline and how long you've been here doing the fucked up shit you've been doing. Because sometimes it's one fold because you only been here one time. Sometimes it's 10 fold because you only had 10 motherfucking times here. And when I say time, I mean life. If you've had 10,000 motherfucking lives and you still being a fucked up ass person, girl, that's a 10,000 motherfucking fold karma. Hello. And it's going to happen in this life. And that's what we got to pray for too, honey, is that people get their karma in this life. We can't wait for the next life. We can't allow the karma to happen when it's their time going out. We need them to have it right here, right now, honey. In this era, in this eon, in this level of existence, and also let us know about it. So that's where we are at with that. Having the spiritual gift and or the capacity to perceive the true nature. Because see, when you're true with yourself, you see all things that are also true. Authentic people see authentic things. Fake lying ass people see fake lying ass things. Hello? When you're a liar and you're fake, you can't see the truth. Hello? You can't see the truth. You don't know what is deceiving. You don't know who is deceiving because you're used to seeing lies. You're so used to seeing lies. You don't know the real from the fake. Hello? Hello. It enables the believer to look beyond the surface appearances to understand underlying truths, often guiding decisions in spiritual warfare, which, by the way, we all go under spiritual warfare. Every experience that we have is spiritual warfare. And you're either a part of my spiritual alliance or you're a part of the destructive, the side that's going to be fucked up, girl. Hello. Because you go against me, girl, you're getting fucked up. You go against me, you're getting fucked up. You're going against me, you're getting fucked up. Hello. You go against me, you're getting fucked up, honey. Hello. And so it says that prophecy and daily life through God's wisdom. So when you don't have spiritual discernment, you don't have God's wisdom. You don't have God's wisdom, you ain't have nothing. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. Without God's wisdom, you have nothing. Because it is in God's wisdom that you learn who you are. It is in God's wisdom that you love who you are. It is in God's wisdom that you start to also look for God in other people. And as I said, regardless of what we do in this life, we're seeking ourselves. We look for good people because we're looking for God. That's why we're not looking for good people just to sit around and bullshit with. Oh my God, she's a good person. She said I'm beautiful. Oh, she's good because she liked my nails. She think I got like, girl, fuck all that. You're good because the light is in you. And that's why. Hello. And we can also break that down too, but we're going to save that. And so going into the oppression, if you're feeling oppressed, okay, you're feeling like some type of power got a stronghold on you, ask for that stronghold to be released. Read Psalms 129 to start your ass off with. Hello. And you're going to get into it and you're just going to say, I am powerful. I'm divine. I'm protected. I'm of the light. I am from the light. I am of the light. The light is me. Yes, I am loved. I'm protected. I'm sacred. Yes, honey, I'm powerful. Yes, honey. Hello. I know me because me knows me. Hello. Come on in here. You got to speak sometimes like a child too, honey. That's how you get that inner child to be healed. Honey, hello. You got to speak like a child sometimes. I am me and me is me. Ow! I am me and me is me. You better wake it up. You better wake it up, baby. Okay? Black Jesus really seems to be Jesus. I know that's right, Jesus. Come on in here, half the disguise. So adultery is a sin in some sense or another. Perception by adultery is also a form of magic where you work with a specific image to bring a specific outcome. You said it. Something that I know about the mind, I learned that photo memory is a spiritual gift. Everybody does not have photo memory. If I need to replay a situation or a scenario that I've seen physically with my eyes, I'm able to replay that and see it how I saw it in that moment. And so going into that, back then they were even more pure. So all they needed was one picture of what Oshun looked like. They needed one picture of what Yewat looked like. They needed one picture of what Parvati looked like. They needed one picture of what Vishnu looked like. And that image was ingrained within their heart. And that's why even going into the Bible, because they have to cover up some truth with lies and lies with truth, where it says in your hearts of hearts. In your hearts of hearts, you don't need a statue of Jesus or a cross to represent the love for Jesus. That is your mundane, weaker self still trying to find its higher self. A lot of people forget that your connection with religion is to help you find who you really are. And once you've mastered that, you don't have to have the cross on you no more. You don't gotta have these things no more. But like you said, you use the altar, use the pictures as a form of magic to get a certain outcome. Exactly. So they gave them these saints to venerate their power. Because these saints, if these saints were living and alive right now, you think that these saints would be. Could we talk about it for a minute? You think that St. Barbara would be about the Negroes or the white folks? Hello? You think that white Jesus would be for about free these Negroes? Or would he say, own them, own them, own them, own them, whoop their ass, hang them? You see what I mean? So you've done these rituals for years, and a lot of times your ancestors have set you up for failure. Because see, a lot of our ancestors, we knew about this. A lot of our ancestors we knew about, they knew about tea. They knew about what it really was. They knew about what it really wasn't. They knew about it. They said, hey, they're trying to get me to venerate this deity, to give this deity power. But see, what I'm gonna do is, because this deity speaks English and speaks Latin. I speak Igbo. I speak I'm gonna say another language because this is what it all actually translated from. I speak Aramaic. I speak Greek. So this deity, although it's a spiritual deity, this deity is real living allegedly. They said that saints were actually people that lived on this planet before. This bitch ain't gonna know what the fuck a Latin word is, a fucking Spanish word, girl. If she speak Igbo, she not gonna know what the fuck a Greek word is if she speak Latin, girl. That's not how that work. Hello, that's how that work in that sense. And so while they're giving me this statue to venerate her, some people were venerating it. Saint Barbara, bring me. Yes, yes, Saint Valencia, Saint Fortuna. Yeah, they were definitely venerating this, honey. But other people said, I know there's a darker side to this being because if Saint Barbara is so-called loving and nice, how are these people venerating her, but they're fucking us up? See, a lot of our ancestors were intelligent. They knew. They said this doesn't make sense to me. So Jesus have to have a background to him as well, because if y'all believe that Jesus does not like hate and ignorance and God is about protection and love, but y'all are beating me to fucking filth and treat me like an animal, then there has to be another side to this deity. And that's what we see. Respectfully, that's what we see. So we've gotten the flip side of Jesus, but not the actual side of Jesus, and they kind of flipped the roles. So they said that the white one is the right one, and the black one is the wrong one. But in reality, the black one has gotten people up and out, and they've gotten something. Hello, hello. People don't know the dark aspect of any of the saints or any of the deities. Okay. And yes, some of them are positive. No, all of them are positive. Or excuse me, some of them are negative but have positive aspects. Just like some of them are positive but have some negative aspects. And some of them will actually fully become a negative person, but they have to be provoked. Like Oshun. People know Oshun as a very loving, very patient, very quiet. She comes out very timid because that's femininity. She comes off very timid and very, oh my God. But honey, she gives out several warnings before she morphs into the darker her. And when she's in the darker aspect of herself, she fucks up some fuck up. Hello. Okay. She fucks up some fuck up. Okay. So, yeah, honey. Let me go, honey. Ooh. Ooh, 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 honey, a good stretch. Ooh. Listen, y'all. Let me go. The message here has such a deep meaning, and I love it. Thank you, Heather Tiskai. Thank you so much. Going into Kateri Tequitha, bless her name. I know that's right, honey. Come on in here, Heather Tiskai. Already about that. Daughtry, I think that American flag speaks about the religion that was mainly practiced on the land for the centuries. It mainly involved astrology. Of course. But see, what people don't understand is that America was named after an Italian explorer. And this Italian explorer, I want to say two things. I'm not going to get into that because I feel like that's deep. We'll say that for another video. Maybe I'll do a video and present it to you all. We were having a conversation about something, and a lot of you ain't gonna understand this, but I want to leave this. Bella ready. She's sitting right here in the hallway just looking at me. You ready to go outside? Yeah, she ready. Two things happened. When we're gonna start with the recent. We're gonna go down. So when I moved to this area, I knew there was magic in this area. I knew there was magic in this land. I knew there was magic. I felt it. I seen it. When I got to the trees, I could feel the energy of the trees, y'all. It was like strong energy. And I said, these energies here, these sources here are so powerful. Like there's people here that still venerate the trees and the mountains and the lakes and the rivers. And even going into what happened here, and of course it angered me because I saw these experiences through visions. And it angered me, right? As it does with anything I see. But the spirit was like, it's okay though. Because in the end, we won. In the end, we are winning. And so I noticed how it was so old school here. Like everybody here is so caught in their family life that they don't really care about like uh traffic security and stuff, y'all. Like there were streets here, y'all, that had no stop lights, no stop signs that you would just go through, girl. And it was a four-way street. And there was no yield sign or anything, girl. And I'm like, damn, I wonder how people survive this all these years. Because I barely came here, 5 years ago. So I'm like, damn, how do people survive this before 2020? And so moving on, y'all, moving forward, people started telling me, the locals, about how there was a lake here, and there was a tree here. You know me, girl, as a witch, girl, when it comes to elements, girl. I'm like, well, the energy of that lake is still here. The energy of this tree is still here. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to go tap into this energy, and I'm going to ask the energy here to, bring in something. And so I started doing that. I would even speak it out loud, and I would have conversations, because I feel like talking with people that you know or that are on the same frequency as you, they bring in some type of change. And that's the art of communications, right? Communicating, it exchanges energy, and it builds energy up. So the more you communicate with somebody, the stronger the energy become between these people or the purpose that you guys are talking about. And that's why I choose to talk about positive things and not negative things. And so either way, I choose my words wisely. And so either way, y'all, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can't believe there was a lake here though. Where's the lake? Like, where would this lake be at? And they were like, no, this lake was here as soon as like 2016. And so I was like, oh, so they got rid of this like quick or whatever. So we're getting into it, and someone else and I were talking, and this was just 4 years ago, y'all. Oh, come on here. Actually, 3 years ago. 3 years ago, February of 2023. And we just started talking like, girl, they need more stop signs. They need more lights. And this is just crazy. And guys, we're having this dialogue with each other. They're putting up these stop signs and these lights in these streets that we were talking about it. And to kind of test the gangster, because, this sister of mine said, girl, I can't wait for them to put a light here. And she mentioned out loud, girl, you notice when we talk about things, they come up. And I'm like, well, let's test it. So she mentions it. And I said, yeah, girl, you're right. They need to put a light there because it's getting out of hand. And I tried to act like I was just so passionate about this, y'all. And sure enough, a fake light goes up. And this fake light go up, it's a solar light. And I'm like, wait a minute, girl. Like, I've been here for 4 years and I've not seen no lights here. And this is crazy to see a light here now. And so there was a busy ass intersection, y'all, that has it's a four-way, but there's two lanes going each direction. So there's 4 lanes in total. There's 2 going north, 2 going south, 2 going east, 2 going west. And so it's a four-way, but it's 8 lanes in total, 4 in each direction, whatever. And so it was a stop sign, y'all, and I've seen so many accidents there. And so of course there is a lake still near this area. And of course I said, well, these people like to work with water here. And I noticed that. And I said, these people like to work with water here. And so, of course, every time I got to this stop sign, I said it out loud. I'm so thankful and grateful for this light. I'm so grateful and thankful for this light. And I would see the people who had the accidents, y'all, because I witnessed 2 of those accidents. And it was honestly sad. See these accidents, thank God none of them were fatal, but I still thought about the ones I saw were not fatal, but people said there were fatal ones there, fatalities there. But I said, um, the lights are here, and thank for those who had to be a sacrifice to now make the lights going to be here. And y'all, sure enough, y'all, they put the light poles up. And of course, at this point, like I'm getting chills. I'm not even telling y'all this right now. Like at this point, I had chills because I'm like, what the fuck? But I'm just like, well, maybe they were planning on doing that anyway. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, well, if this is something spiritual, allow it to take its time because I feel like things that are spiritual and it's gonna be longevity, it takes time to build up. And so, of course enough, y'all, these poles were up without these lights being on for almost a year. But people got to this light, y'all, and they stopped. People were stopping, girl, and it was just amazing to see where it's like, girl, the lights are not even on. Why y'all stopping like the lights are there? But I knew this is spiritual. But not only did these lights come up, y'all, but they had an empty ass field across the street from this light set, and they build up these really fancy apartments. And these apartments, y'all, they said these apartments were gonna take like 5 or 6 years to put up, y'all. And they put these apartments up in 2 years. And so every time I go to this spot, y'all, I think about that. And so I have to test the gangster because, girl, coming out of my area, girl, it was so busy. Y'all, when I tell you, it was so busy. And I said, well, we're gonna really test the gangster because if God is listening to these lights, if God is listening to the lights and our ideas to put these lights up, I need a light coming out of my place because it's hectic as fuck coming out. Like, girl, it's a long ass driveway. People be like rushing to get out. And I'm just like, girl, we need a light. And y'all, 2 years, right? After initially thinking this, but like really saying, like, we need a light. Girl, they put the light poles up. And then, of course, my sister's like, girl, I can't wait for those lights to be up because it's still doing. I said, oh, girl, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait. And within 3 months of that, when we were really getting frustrated and hectic and irritated with this, y'all, they put the lights up. And so people are like saying, like, damn, like, you guys are the only ones that have a light coming out of y'all long as driveway to your complex. Nobody else has that. And I'm just like, come on, God. I said, come on, God. I said, come on, Holy Spirit. I said, come on, Holy Spirit. Because that's how you know that God is real. I said, come on, Holy Spirit. Because of course that's not the only thing, but that's something that really stand out where I said, girl, yes, you speak into your environment speaks back to you. But going back into this, y'all, something that I thought about, and I'm really gonna be gone. I get long winded, but I'm telling stuff. Right before the pandemic happened, y'all remember we did this together. Do y'all remember when I talked about Benjamin Franklin? Hmm. Do y'all remember when we talked about Benjamin Franklin? And before I get into this, hold on, hold on, honey. Mm, mm, hold on. Okay, so either way, we were talking about Benjamin Franklin, and I read some type of insert or something where like Benjamin Franklin respected people. And although during like he was ahead of his time, like the people had ideas about certain things and he was a little more open-minded. Out of all the people and all the things that people talked about from those people back in the day, you know, um, I think he was a man of integrity. And so either way, I said I want to do a ritual on him because he's also on the $100 bill, right? And I'm like, so I want to do a ritual on him. And I remember we said on here we were going to be doing it, and I remember Tasha. Tasha's like, Benjamin Franklin ritual, and she put a question mark. And of course, because Benjamin Franklin is from Philly, y'all. Or excuse me, he was in Philly. I think he's from Boston. Yes, Boston. And so either way, y'all, Boston, Massachusetts. And so either way, y'all, we start doing this stuff. And right before this, y'all, this is before the pandemic and stuff too, y'all. And then remember, they were alleging that there was a shortage of money. And I was like, huh. Like I knew this is something was manifesting. And then it was like now they're talking about either getting rid of $100 bills or something with that right now. I've said all this to say, like, y'all, it's so, I noticed like how powerful the mind is collectively. I feel like when you tap into something that the collectives have already tapped into or is tapping into, I feel like that helps to shift energy. And I think that's why a lot of times that's how the government works and moves is that they put out a story. A lot of people will tap into that story, have their belief and outcome of that story, and now they mold the reality of that story. And it's kind of like they need your energy to manifest what it is that they're trying to manifest. They need your energy to manifest what it is that they're trying to manifest. They cannot do it alone. They have you thinking that they can do it alone, but they really can't. Because although you're thinking about something, one thought is one little drop that, what they say, it creates a ripple. But it needs to be multiple drops. And the more drops you have within that lake or that river, the more stronger the ripple effect is going to be. So it's the same thing with that. Yeah, your thought. I mean, if you're always in thought and prayer and meditation about something days in, days out, like the monks do, you're going to see certain realities, certain response happen very fast. When, like I said, you're tapping into something that other people have thought about, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought about street lights at this four-way stop sign. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought about street lights at my place. I'm pretty sure I'm not. But others have thought about it. You've also thought about it, and because you work with a certain type of energy, things start to shift at a more crazier or rapid rate. And so that's pretty much what I want to leave with you all, honey. Stay true to yourself. Don't let anybody change who you are. Stay honest, stay humble, stay beautiful. Stay honest even in times where make other people feel comfortable. Because, we know honesty make people feel uncomfortable, girl. When you're honest and you're direct, it make people feel uncomfortable. Where they're like, ooh, you're just a little too tough. So it's not tough for me to be messy with you, but it's tough for me to tell you the truth. It's not considered tough or masculine or negative for me to sit here and want to argue in your face and tell you about yourself and this, and that. But my tongue is sharp when I tell you how it is and stand on it. Thank you for the compliment. But you're just really telling me that, bitch, you don't like honesty. You like people to pussyfoot, sugarfoot. And that's not me. Is Freemasonry a part of those systems as well? Of course. Are the Rosicrucians go to does the same organization? No. Gotta be quick on your game, right? Yes, that to give thanks at a very moment spirit aligns. Yes, honey. Yes, there's some nasty push-ins right now. I know that's right, honey. I think that many rituals have some connection to Orin, or of course, many higher spirits are connected to the stars, and I think lower level spirits are only attached to this plane. You said it is my only interesting on our bike ride. Yes, honey. I'm going. Thank you so much, CJ. It's interesting that the Palamayombe version of Oshun is called Chola Wengwa, like a Chola, right? Well, that's who these other people are connected to. They said their daughters are Oshun. You know what I'm talking about. The basic ass witch crew back in the day. They're Chola Wingwe, honey. That's who they connected to, girl. Okay. So I will say this. Chola Wingwe is a aspect of Oshun. She's not the darker side of Oshun. Oshun has 7 to 8 different sides to her. And the darkest, we'll say the 3 darkest ones, their name is not Chola Wenge, honey. Okay, we know that Chola is like gangster, honey. Hello, we know that. We know that. It's like Chola. It's like gangster. That's like pretty gangster, pretty chick. But anyway, yeah, so it's not the darker aspect of Oshun, but it's an energy that would be equivalent to Oshun. But it's not Oshun. It's not Oshun, honey. Just like Ganesha. I mean, I would say I think all of my deities have, yeah, all the deities that I'm connected to, including Archangel Raphael, has some lighter sides and darker sides, and you don't want to invoke the darker sides. I mean, Ganesha's, because, he holds all the secrets to the universe. You don't want to get on that darker side of Ganesha. You don't want to even connect with that because that energy is so heavy that people have died during the veneration of that energy. People have gotten fucked up. They're similar to Kali Ma. There's people that had connection with Kali Ma. They worked that energy, and Kali Ma showed up and showed out, and almost left them without shit. A window to piss in, a bowl to throw it, a bowl to piss in, and a window to throw it out of. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, child, they fell out bad. Yes, so they fell out bad. I remember that. Right. But see, that's what happened when you go around just fucking with people. Have people think that you fuck with them. And that's what I was sitting there thinking too. Like, I have to ask myself sometimes, and I just feel like people don't understand it, but like people who love me and care for me, like if you're connect with me, I'm like, I don't go around fucking with people. That's never been my MO. I feel like life is so precious and time is so valuable. I never wanted to sit here and antagonize people. Like, that's not me, right? I don't antagonize people. I don't purposely intentionally go fuck with people. And so when people fuck with me though and I fight back, I'm the problem now. Like, and this always comes up, y'all, where spirit is like, girl, just stay in your lane. Like, you ask a question now, oh, you're coming off strong. And it's just like, I'm coming off strong. So you like people to lie to you then, basically. You don't, it's not that kind of strong. You like people to lie to you. Or, girl, we've already talked about this several times. Why are we still talking about it? That's not true, because I don't like to repeat myself. Anybody who knows me, I hate telling people the same thing over and over again. If I gotta tell you the same thing more than 2 times, at the third time, girl, I'm done with you. And there's no shade with that. So it's that. Or, girl, no shade, you came in swinging. Came in swinging how? And for that matter, it was, I come into a room full of people talking about sweaty booties and sweaty balls and sweaty ass and licking on, like, girl, and I'm eating, but I'm being respectful. 'Cause I'm like, it's not my business, whatever. I'm keeping it pushing. And then the next day, I come in and I say what I'm talking about, which has nothing to do with anything. I just say, girl, why are people not running you up? And now all of a sudden it's, well, bitch, I could run out and I do got money. And bitch, I have 3 jobs. And bitch, I own my own business in Atlanta. And I'm a black entrepreneur. And then it's like, wait, what? And then all of a sudden I'm the problem. Like, well, I'm going to be honest with you, girl. You didn't come in swinging. How did I come in swinging when I asked your motherfucking broke ass why they not giving you no motherfucking money? Because you here to run a business. Girl, I wish I would be running a business and my friends come in just to sit in, just to chi-chi and kiki and ka-ka-ka-ka. Girl, this is a business, girl. Why are you at my bitch just sitting there taking up space, girl? And now other people are gonna feel like they come here and do the same thing. So it was that. It was, girl, you're the problem because, girl, I'm sitting here, standing my ground and I'm getting sick of hoes like coming for what I want. Hoes don't want nobody unless they know you want them. Hoes start figuring out like, oh, she want him. I want him too. Like, hoes will say, I don't like Mexicans, but when they know you like a Mexican, now they want to talk to a Mexican. Hoes will say, I don't know how you handle this for free because you got to pay to do this and that. And then now they're doing it for free. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I thought you charged for that. Hoes will be like, oh, I don't deal with none of these online men because these online men are crazy. And when they find out that you talk to a lot of men, oh, let me find this DM. Oh, you really like her because she keep calling you her man. Are you really her man? Like, girl, why you got to email him that? Ask him in front of the room if he's my man. And then on top of that, the other one. Oh, I know that my friend likes him, but I'm going to continue to flirt with him. I'm going to be flirtatious with him. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, I like that too. Oh, yeah, baby. You got everything in common. And other times too, people be like, well, I didn't know that I was coming off that. No, you did because we put up boundaries. Just so you know, I'm not, but like I said, I think that people who are insecure, people who don't know who they are, they will do everything they can to make them feel equal to or greater than you. They want to show you, girl, you're not this special. Oh, girl, you might be secure in who you are, but I'm insecure and I can still get what you can get. No, honey, you can get half of what I can get. You can't get all that I can get, girl. Hello? Because one reason why my bills is paid because the bitch is taken care of. A bitch could sleep in her house. I could sleep all day if I wanted to, and my bills will still be paid. And that's not a cut in, honey. I'm just saying, girl, it is what it is. When you that bitch, you get it. When you not that bitch, you gotta work for it. Okay, no shade. So, bitch, yeah, we're not one and the same, honey, and that's okay too. Girl, you have to learn. Like I said, it takes people time to get here. It took me a lot of hard work to get here. It took me a lot of sleepless nights to get here, energetically and physically. It is what it is, girl. Nothing just come to you, girl. You gotta work for it. Okay. But anyway, do you think that people should trace their lineage before doing close magic? No. No, honey. You don't have to. You don't have to, Julie V. Hey, girl. Who you doing? What you doing? No, you don't have to, uh, you don't have to research your lineage. Now, if you choose to, why not? Why not? It'd be, that'd be one up. Do you have to know? Because I do feel like this: when you are in Rome, you must do what the Romans do. So, although my lineage may be, let's say some Stragula magic, right? Because of course, my Spanish ancestors originated from Italy. And that's why Italian is so easy for me to pronounce. It comes to me like a second language. Yay! See, I'll be sharing all my tips with people. But either way, um, so if I'm in America, okay, my Spanish stuff might work because my ancestors, or my Italian stuff might work because my ancestors are from there, or my Middle Eastern stuff might work because I've had many physical lives there, so it's a part of my spiritual power. But I still have to do the land, the working that's here. And I'm going to also do a video for y'all. It was going to be today, but it'll probably be tomorrow or Tuesday, um, where I found out the connections. No, not the connections. America and the Middle East. The secret passage and intertwining of America and the Middle East. And so I'm gonna talk about that because it's very similar to Africa and South America. And so I'm going to talk about that because in this type of finding, it has come up about my essence and who I am and what I've always felt connected to, and my love for specific beings, and I've always been curious of like, why me though? Like, in my human mind, like, why me though? Like my siblings, my cousins, none of them like dogs the way I love dogs. I love dogs. I love my dogs. I love other people's dogs. Some that I always think about when I'm out and about, like seeing loose dogs and stuff, y'all. It kind of it saddens me, honey, when I see dogs and stuff, and stray dogs and stuff, and homeless dogs. I'm just like, girl, like I want to be able to just get a big ass house and just get all these dogs in and take care of them. Have like a big ass 101 dog farm or something, honey. Like, and keep them all until their days on this earth is over. And like I said, I love dogs. I always have this strong connection with dogs. And so either way, learning what I learned, I said, oh my God. You know what? This is what we're going to do. Because we're already here. So I'm going to say it, and I'm really going to leave after this. And of course, I think that all animals are beautiful, but I've always been suspicious of cats. And I always wonder why people who are considered demonic in essence, why they always push the needs for cats. And even why a lot of us have become obsessed with cats because of the colonizers' energy on cats. And that's where we're gonna stay. And so, according to this ancient religious practice that is still practiced in the world, in many, many parts of the world, and these places are powerful places, um, we're going to talk about dogs and we're going to talk about cats. In this ancient society, dogs are revered as sacred, clean, and loyal creatures. They are highly beneficial to humanity. While cats are traditionally viewed with suspicion or noxious creatures who are agents of evil, and this is an ancient culture, y'all, that practiced magic several thousand years before Christianity even came about. And it still has a connection to Christianity, by the way. Dogs are thought to possess spiritual purity and guard the Chivnat bridge between bridge to heaven, requiring strict care and respect. And people who does not give dogs strict care and respect, they always pay for it in the end. And it says that dogs are considered holy and protectors against evil. The four-eyed dogs having the spot above each eye is particularly regarded as having an immense protective power. You know, Anubis has... I have to think about it for a minute. I was like, oh my God, my very first baby that I called Anubis, he has four eyes. He's a four-eyed dog. And they are regarded as having immense protective power. Sagat ritual. A crucial traditional practice in this ancient culture involved bringing a dog to a funeral to view the deceased body to drive away evil spirits, because they believed that when people died, evil energies and entities surrounded it, which is true, because going into when people die, a lot of people have interaction with their deceased loved ones and they will have it by demons. So the demon will come through and say, this is Big Mama Shirley, this is Big Mama whatever, and Mama love you, and now you're having all these series of bad luck going on. And it says that the ancient people treat cruelty to dogs as a grave sin, equating with human mistreatment. Proper care of dogs, particularly stray or pregnant dogs, is sacred duty. Dogs are believed to guard the bridge. I already said that. So it said cats. Cats are considered noxious in this ancient religion. Unlike dogs, cats were seen in this ancient culture as treacherous and associated with evil forces, making them part of the noxious creatures. And it also points out how their eyes are very similar to snakes. And snakes are also considered they're considered noxious creatures and are not created by God. And it says that, or the sacred God. It's created by a God, but not the sacred God. And it says that historic beliefs imply that cats' touch, particularly its whiskers, would contaminate food, and a bowl eaten from a cat required severe cleaning. And see, I tell y'all, I love cats, don't get me wrong, but something about cats are disgusting to me. And just the idea, I mean, ooh, girl, I don't want to think about it. Like, would I ever have a pet cat? No. Won't have it. I knew friends that had pet cats, and I'm just like, oh, the baby, the cute baby, because I can't get past that. But I'm just there, like, ooh, these things are like suspicious. Like cats are suspicious, girl. I don't give a fuck. Nobody say cats are fucking suspicious, girl. Taking spirituality out of it, I'm just like, something about these fuckers, I don't trust like that. Would I trust a dog with my eyes closed? Yes, I would. Would I trust a cat with my eyes closed? No, I wouldn't. And we're just talking about real, honest truth. Like I said, no offense. I know a lot of my people out there have cats. One of my spiritual sisters has a cat. My other spiritual sister, she loved cats, honey. She had cats too, but I don't care for cats like that. And it says that while religion lore often viewed them negatively compared to dog loyalty, some reports suggest they were utilized for pest control in later times, which is true. But you also had other animals that also handled pests. See, what happened is when humans started to get involved in natural orders, it started to throw off the natural order of these animals, which I'm actually going to go into this as well, because this ancient culture speaks about how God created everything with a counterpart. And so everything that God created, God also created something that destroys that. Oh, come on in here. See, y'all not ready for that type of teaching. So it speaks about how certain animals are meant to keep down the fox population, or certain animals were meant to keep down spiders, or keep down even roaches, y'all. Like, it's some real deep shit, girl. And this is a civilization, like I said, was thousands of years old. And so, like I said, without me knowing this knowledge prior to a couple of years ago, I said I've always revered dogs. I've always loved dogs. I see dogs as just this innocent energy. If we have to say what are angels on earth, I would say dogs are. Dogs have their own personality. Dogs are their own everything. And I think they're special. Yeah, honey. My dog, other people's dog. Yeah, honey. Dogs are very special to me, honey. And I will forever love fur babies, honey. Call me the godmother of all dogs. Can that be my new thing, y'all? Should I change my name one more time for spirituality and actually get that legalized? Call me the queen of dogs, the mother of dogs or something, honey. Honey, can we do that? Can y'all call me the mother of dogs? You know, hello. Can you call me the mother of dogs? Ow! See, maybe that's why I like the word bitch too. Bitch! You bitch! Maybe I like that word. Bitch! 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 Okay. Then why does having those rectangular pupils mean like sheep, goats, rams, etc.? Well, you're saying it. No, you said it. You said it. Yeah. Those slit eyes are deceptive eyes. Yeah. Those slit eyes are deceptive eyes, honey. Anything that has round eyes all the time, because cats also have, because see, cats are transformers. Okay, people call trannies transformers. Cats are transformers. Some cats have round eyes. Some cats have slit in the eyes. Some cats can also actually turn their round eyes into slitted eyes. So you said it. Slitted eyes are associated with deception, while round, full eyes are associated with purity when it comes to animals. When it comes to humans, by the way, almond-shaped eyes are considered pure people, and round-shaped eyes are considered people of suspicion. And when you look up serial killers, for the most part, there were some with almond-shaped eyes, but they still had something within them that you can see where it's like, ooh, they were transformers, honey. They tried to act like they were pure intention, but they were fucking butt. But some of these dark-ass people, honey, their eyes are like round and dead. Like, they're just there. You're looking at that, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are they looking like that? And even going into like one eye being bigger than the other eye. People, oh, you can't make fun of that. No, honey, looking at people's eyes and the shaved skull, they're saying these people are these people are batshit crazy, honey. And so there's books on there about that, reading eyes and all that. But I just wanted to share that little piece with y'all about the purity of dogs, how powerful they are, and how they're guards of evil entities and evil energies. And they cleanse out spaces too. Yes, they do. They keep spaces clear of energy. Hello! Can we talk about it? Okay. Praise Basset. That's right. Well, see, Basset. Well, see, we love Basset. She's the dog. She's the goddess of seduction. But did you know that Basset was not the queen of dogs, just like Anubis was not the king of dog. Excuse me. Basset was not the queen of cats, just like um, Anubis was not the king of jackals. And Horus was not a falcon, and uh, Thoth was not a bird neither. Do you know that these Greek gods were actually connected to energies within the body? And do you know that the animalistic source that they're connected to symbolizes your body? So the energy of Ra, excuse me, the energy of Horus deals with anal cleanliness, anal healing. So Horus would be good for cleansing yourself of colon cancer, anything, any digestive issues, you would connect with Horus. Going into, and so forth and so forth. Like I said, I want to give too much tea out right here, right now. But that's one. He's also connected to the eyes, the brain, the pineal gland. So something within the headspace, vision. You will work with that energy to bring in that type of energy. Of course, people depicted Bastet as a cat goddess, but we know that cats represent ultimately femininity. In essence and in energy, feminine energy is graceful, it's poised, and it's also independent. See, we're taught in a patriarchal society that women needs men in order to survive. But in reality, men were created to help women. That's why women give birth to men and not the other way around. Women could survive without a man. And don't you ever fucking forget that. It is a patriarchal system that teaches you that you need men. And you only need men now because of something happening. Because at one point in time, goddesses were able to impregnate themselves because there's already testosterone in your liver and in your bone. Hello! So y'all not ready for that type of teaching. The patriarchal system have taught you other things. And now she's anti-woman or she's anti-man. No, 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 no. No, 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 honey. A woman is very independent. And so that's why a lot of people like cats because cats represent that. Seductive, alluring, the way they walk, the way they move is very, soft, is very, it's just, yeah, they're very feminine in that representation. So that cat energy, when you have to think of a goddess being the most seductive, you're not going to depict her as a dog. And not saying that dogs are not seductive, but we're saying that dogs are very protective, which makes them masculine by nature. Dogs are very protective, and that makes them masculine by nature. Where women or feminine energy could be protective if they're provoked. But their thing is to slip in and slip out, which can be considered deceptive. And that's what cats do. Cats can sneak up on you. Okay? Cats can definitely sneak up on your motherfucking ass and get your ass right together. Hello! Fuck with a cat if you want to. Okay? So the negers are completely natural energies. Come on in here. Yes, honey. They can also get Down syndrome gene. Oh! I'm telling you right now, that's I'm like, girl, listen, y'all. My knowledge is my is my knowledge. I will never beat somebody up for what they like and what they don't like. Just like I wouldn't want you to. I mean, think about it. How would I feel if you know who I am and say, "Oh, girl, I can't get down with you because I know you're of a particular experience." Like I would feel some type of way. Like, what does that have to do with you, though? That's how I feel too. I don't eat beef. I don't eat red meat no more. You know, once again, because, that's for me. I'm not going to watch you eat a burger and say, oh, that's fucked up. You're eating that fucking burger. I'm just going to say, for me, I'm not having a burger. And people ask, why not? Because for me, it doesn't work. I already said why I don't, but I'm in my conviction that cows or red meat has nothing for me. There's no information I need from that. But like, so I'm not going to unfriend you because you eat it. You know what I mean? That's just like PETA and shit going to go fight people for wearing fur. I mean, girl, that's their business. If they want to go buy fur, so be it. You don't have to buy the fur. Bitch, stop being Captain Save or trying to act like you running shit, bro. Let them buy fur. You don't have to buy the fur. And people are going to say, well, that's the same thing for this and that. It's not the same thing for animals. Honey, you beat an animal's ass, I'm beating your ass. That's what said God. Ooh, God, be with me, honey. I better not ever see nobody hurt an animal, especially a dog. Especially a dog. I love squirrels too. Squirrels will be my next best animal. Of course, overall, I love turtles. Turtles is my number one animal. But next to them, of course, I would say turtles and dogs are probably equal. Matter of fact, I think they're equal because I love turtles too, but I really love dogs, And then squirrels will be after that. But I'm like, baby, I see you beat a dog or act crazy with a dog, girl, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have a fucking problem, bitch. And if I see it more than once, I might just come and find you. And I'll turn myself in. Did you? Yes. Yeah. Hi. Hi. Did you? Yes, I did, Your Honor. I was on video camera and I saw him put his hands on that dog. So I had to show up and put my hands on him. Ow! Did you? Yes, I did. I was watching a video where I saw him doing some disgustable things to that animal, and I had to come and do some disgusting things to his motherfucking ass. Yes, I did, Your Honor. Yes, I did. Yes, yes. Yep. I sure did. Yep. Do you have anything to say? I'm gonna look right into the jury and everybody out there in the pews and stuff. I'm gonna say I want to take this one out. Learn your lesson, because if you put your hands on the animals again, I'm gonna show up to your motherfucking house. Hello? You put your hands on the dogs, I'm gonna show up. Learn something from this. And then I'm gonna say on the flip side too, we need to not be okay with people putting their hands on animals. Same thing with children. My next thing that I want to get into is castrating chemically rapists and child molesters. If you're being convicted of and they actually have enough evidence to convict you as a pedophile, they need to go ahead and get your balls removed, baby. You need to have an orchiectomy. That's what I'm for. And maybe that's why they're trying to get rid of the transgender experience, because they know that the same hormones that they want people to dump and throw away, that we're gonna have a hard time getting to chemically castrate these motherfucking perverts. See, they think they fucking slick. No, bitch, we on your motherfucking ass, girl, and we're gonna make sure the divine energy and feminine energy get y'all right together. Honey, what position I need to put out there? What petition do I need to have going around online and in person to chemically castrate perverts? Because that's what I'm for. You touch a motherfucking kid, bitch, you need to motherfucking be castrated. And then you do it again, even after you got your balls removed, bitch, at this time you need to be. Let me not say that on here. But anyway, that's where I'm at with that. Okay? That's where I'm at with that. Let's go ahead and chemically castrate these perverts and PDFers and stuff. Yeah, honey. Let's go ahead and get them together, babe. Get their balls removed and put them on estrogen, girl. Because getting the balls removed ain't shit. Let's put them on some estrogen that's chemically. We're gonna have a lot of them there, honey, bitch. How you doing? Okay, let's put them on hormones, bitch. The dick can't get hard no more. They ain't gonna have no semen. They have to be on hormones. How about that? Or if they don't want to take it verbally, you put the patch on them. I'm for that, bitch. I'm for that, bitch. I'm for that. Get these pedos together, baby. Where I gotta put these petitions up at, y'all? If I get that petition together, who gonna sign it? That we need to chemically castrate perverts. Who gonna help me? Who gonna help sign that petition? That's the petition. That's what I want to fight for. I want to fight for the children. I want to fight for the animals. I'm sorry, humans. You know, I love y'all too. But I want to fight for the children. I want to fight for the animals. That's my fight. The animals and the children. The animals and the children, girl. Sorry, y'all. Not sorry, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Uh, uh, we need to protect the animals and we need to protect the children. Okay? Okay. Okay. I'm out. Put that. Okay. Yes. Yes, it's called an orchiectomy. Yeah, when they take out your both testicles, they're called a bilateral orchiectomy. And they have one where they only take out one. But yes, orchiectomy. Wait a minute, I didn't know that chemical church was a thing. Yes, honey. When you're on hormones, I won't say the combination. Let's just say, I learned the hard way at one point in time. Hello! Let's just say I learned the hard way at one point in time. But they actually have a European hormone that has an estrogen and progesterone together. And, she's named after a woman. And she's named after a certain age too, girl. And so either way, honey, you would take that with a T blocker, and literally people were having their whole testicles dissolving and the scrotum shrinking. And the downfall with that is, if you wanted to get a that's why they do one and two things. They either if you get an orchiectomy and you plan on having a sex change, they will put artificial testicles in there, because you will have something called atrophy, which is where the scrotum skin will shrink. And if the scrotum skin shrinks, when you go get your sex change, your vagina lips are gonna look crazy as fuck, honey. And so they don't want that. And so That's what was going on. People were getting chemically castrated and they were waiting too long to go get their actual sex change. And they were a little confused, like, well, what's going on? And of course, because the testicles shrunk or got completely dissolved. And so now they categorize that. You can get an actual medical castration or we can chemically castrate you. And of course, is that they mix progesterone, estrogen, and T cell blockers together. And there's already a pill that's like that. And like I said, girl, it gets you right together. And of course, it happens so fast that it kind of fucks you up too. Hello? It will fuck you up, girl. Okay. Please, hold on. Okay, honey. Listen, y'all need to get ready to go, girl. We've been here for 2 hours and 15 minutes, honey. Who's on? Um, but yes, honey, I'm for that, honey. It's chemically castrate. And of course, I'm pretty sure it would mess you up in the mind because your body is not used to that, especially when you have two hormones. You said it. And that's another thing, too. A lot of people will say that like hormones have made some people crazy. I agree in a sense of if you have a high amount of testosterone within your body and then you're putting a lot of estrogen in your body or a lot of estrogen enabling stuff in your body. So that's why they encourage you to start off small and then work your way up. A lot of times, too, I also think that people are not set up for this. Regardless of what people say, in my honest opinion, if you are naturally born someone of trans experience, that means your mind has always been in that state. And your mind has always been in that state. That means that's your hardware. Your mind is the powerhouse of your whole body. Somehow, some way, you're going to develop still in a feminine way. That whole that, honey, you were like 6'5". Not saying there's not 6'5" women out there, but 6'5", size 16 shoe. And to be somewhat passable, you got to go get this done, that, and this, and you got to pay 100 and some, 200 some $1,000. It just may not be in you. Because there's some men who are born males that doesn't feel like women and they're soft. They're soft and feminine. I'm not saying that they're meant to be a woman, but I'm just saying in my mind, if this is really your calling, your body's going to already have that. Like I said, for me, I've always had high estrogen levels compared to testosterone. And of course, when I got on hormones, it kind of amplified. And so I moved into it, rapidly, but at a slow rate because I was only taking like 2 milligrams of estrogen and 50 milligrams of spironolactone. And then, of course, one of my doctors, like, we need to actually go up and probably do 100 of spironolactone as I was getting older, 100 of spironolactone, and we do still 2 milligrams of Spiro. I think the most I was on Spiro was probably 2.5. But then I met this one girl, and she's like, no, girl, you need to be on 4 milligrams to 6 milligrams of estrogen, and you need to be on 200 milligrams of spironolactone. And I asked my doctor, and they were like, no, your numbers, you don't need that. And I was like, well, what? You know what? It was a little petty of me. But I was like, but what would make somebody need 6 milligrams of spironolactone or estrogen, estradiol, and 200 milligrams of Spiro? And they were saying some people are even taking 600 milligrams. And the doctor said flat out, like, that means they had a lot of testosterone. The doctor said that means they had a lot of testosterone, baby. And I'm like, but they still a woman? And the doctor said, well, yeah, you can't really judge off of that. But I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, I'm sorry, girl. Listen, that's something for everybody seeing a therapist. I think some people just feel like women because they had experiences at a young age that made them feel like a woman. So they thought maybe this is what I really really am. Versus me, I want to knock on wood. No molestation story, no sexual energy. I was not exposed to sexuality early on. Um, so I'm just like, for me, that's not my motherfucking story. Okay. But I'm like, I really think that's what a lot of people's stories are. I think that they feel like they're women due to sexual experiences. And even going into that group I was telling y'all about, that's their story. One girl had her first encounter at 11. She stayed as a man until she was 30 and decided at 30 that she wanted to start taking hormones. And I'm like, I'm not saying you're not a woman. That don't take away from you. But for me, girl, it was life or death. It was life or death for me, honey, to be a woman. It was life or death. And not to be a woman, but to be respected and to present myself as that. Because you not see me as a woman doesn't take away my womanhood. Yeah, just because you don't see it for me don't mean that I'm less of a woman or I'm going to detransition. Um, and so that's where I'm at with that. So for her, I'm like, damn it. And then she's like, well, yeah, I was going through a lot in my life. I was too, bitch. Bitch, right when I first started taking my hormones and started really living full time as a woman, girl, I was in high school and my parents did not enable that. And I wasn't in high school on hormones, but that's why I moved out. I was still in high school when I moved out. I was 17, almost like 17 and a half when I was, girl, I graduated 6 months after I moved out my parents' house. And I still stayed in high school. And I did not even live in the city I graduated from. Hello. I live 30 minutes away from the city I graduated from. So it's like, girl, like we could put excuses up and say all day long that my life wasn't easy, so I had to hold off on my transition. Girl, there's no holding off. That's what makes you trans, girl. You cannot live any other type of way. You're depressed. You're down. Now, if you're going to tell me that you were on antidepressants, if you're going to tell me that you were like in a mental asylum, you're going to tell me during that whole time, girl, you were completely shy about yourself, because I was. I was not even sexually comfortable. When I had to present as a male, I did not want to have sexual encounters with other men. Not one person can say that before I transitioned that they had me as a lover. Not one person could say that. I was not comfortable with myself presenting like that. So this whole thing that when I was a boy, I dated 3 girls. When I was a boy, I played football. Is it gender dysphoria or is it sexual trauma? Because I already knew that with this person, but they said it when they were 11 years old. They were put into a experience with a 19-year-old woman, and I'm like, oh, so you're still a straight man in a confused body, because they still move like a man anyway. They want to be a HVAC worker and shit, and girl, they want to become a mechanic and shit. Like, girl, who does that? And girl, I gotta get home. They don't get their nails done. Honey, they'll probably put on makeup and shit, but it's like, but that's giving me just somebody who likes to play with people. We know that it's trendy to be a woman right now, and it's been trendy to be a woman since 2017. So anybody that transitioned after 2017 and you were already over 18 at that age, girl, you're just trying to be a part of the trend. And there's nothing wrong with that, girl, but I'm not seeing you the same way as me, because, girl, I've been discriminated against on at the job because I was who I was. I've been fired from jobs and sued them because I was who I was. There's no shit with that, girl. I know what it's like to go in front of the courthouse at such a young age and they call you by your dead name, and now you got to stand up and everybody looking around because they're like, well, who the fuck is that? Honey, who is that? And you sit right there in front of the judge and hi, yes, hi. Okay, so you're this and that. So you're here because you want to change your name to blah, 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 blah. Yes, I do. And so what made you want to do this? And then, I'm just sitting there like, I mean, why not? And then, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and grant it. And bingo, there you go. Like I said, I paid my dues, bitch. I kicked down a lot of doors for a lot of motherfucking people. If you a 209 Central Valley transgender person, you can walk around freely to be you. I help kick those motherfucking doors down respectfully, girl. You better reach out to Ben Lu9. Hello? You better reach out. You work at any of those businesses like Walmart, McDonald's, Olive Garden, all that, girl. I help put it in your trainer books that you need to educate people on what transgenderism is. Hello? I did that at only 18 years old. 19 years old. Hello. So that's where we talk about, girl, give credit where credit's motherfucking due, girl. And it's one thing you're never going to take away from me. So like I said, I know what it's like to be spit on, stead on, and disrespected for being who the fuck you are, girl, but still standing on that. You feeling like, should I really do this? Like, this is who I am. Should I detransition? And this is in front of my mama. I had a breakdown. I was like, oh, this is too much for me. And I'm having, girl, you being on hormones and you're going through this reality of shit. And I said, well, maybe I need to just go ahead and either detransition or kill myself. And that was really right there. And I was, remember, my mom was cleaning up. We were right there in that dining room. And I just started bawling. I don't think I ever cried that hard. I was crying so hard that I fell to my motherfucking knees, girl, looking crazy as fuck. And my mama said, no, honey, this is going to make you stronger. And don't you ever say that about yourself. And you're special. And you're this and that. And God created you. And la, 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 la. And that right there is what keep me motherfucking going. So like I said, no motherfucking man, no motherfucking woman, no motherfucking president, no motherfucking judge, no motherfucking police officer, no motherfucking teacher, no motherfucking neighbor can tell me about my motherfucking transition and make me feel any type of way about that motherfucking position. Because, bitch, God gave it to me and my mama motherfucking anointed it. My mom motherfucking anointed it and blessed it, bitch. And that's where I'm at with that. So, learn something. Be true to yourself. Love yourself, girl. Times get hard. Life is hard. Fuck all that. Transition. You want to transition? Transition. It's never going to be an easier time for you to transition. Transition now. How about that? Times is hard. Love is hard. Bitch, yeah, everything is hard, girl. That ain't gonna stop you. Times are hard, but you still sucking dick. Hello? Times are hard, but you're still getting fucked. Hello? Times are hard, but you're still finding a way how to get that sex on. So is it really hard? Or you're putting excuses in front of what you should be doing? So that's where I'm gonna leave out with that, y'all. It was great talking to you all. As always, I've overstayed my welcome today. 2 hours and 50 minutes. It was a great conversation. And now I gotta go out. My baby's, Bella's gonna bug the hell out of me. She's like, girl, she's by the door. She was in the hallway, now she's by the door. Anubis, of course, is on the bed sleeping. He's not sleeping, but he underneath the sheets, girl. It's a little cold for him. But let me go, honey. We love you. Thank you so much too, CJ. I love you as well. Girl, I know they was brick girls if they needed. Girl, girl, no, not 600. 6 milligrams. 6 milligrams of girl. 6 milligrams. And I'm still trying to figure this out because I met a girl who was like she was a 30-year-old transgender at the time, and she's like, I need help with this, but I need a support group. But she wasn't out yet. She was married at the time, and of course she was Indian, and so it was an arranged marriage. And she's like, I cannot get out of this because blah blah blah. Money is on the line, whatever. And so I need help. And so I was like, I'm willing to help you, but of course, I need you to sign a contract. And this is in 2017, y'all, 2018. I was like, I need you to sign a contract, but also I want to get you under a doctor. And so, of course, my job, can I know about this? And I was like, oh, no. Your doctor cannot tell your job that you're going to a doctor for hormonal therapy. They can't tell, no, they can't do that. And so he went in there, he got on hormones, or she got on hormones. But they were giving her weaker hormones. And so, of course, I said, well, I have a connection to, a special place over there in the islands, and they have really good potent hormones. And this hormone will get you together. And so I said, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the cream, the estrogen cream, because I want you to get used to this, because maybe you're not used to this pure medicine, because over here, the medicine ain't pure. Hello! People aren't ready for that type of teaching either. And so either way, so we put her on these, the gel, and she's like, I'm not really feeling anything after like 3 weeks. And I said, that's weird, because I felt 3 days of popping my hormone pill, girl, I felt it. So I was like, okay, well, and you're older, so maybe whatever. So I was like, you know what? Let's go into the patches. And then so she's like, no, the doctor gave me pills. Let's do the patches and pills, but I will start on the patches. And so, of course, she put on the patches, and it was, change your patch every 3 to 7 days. And of course, the first week, she's like, I'm feeling it. The second week, she already started to develop her breast. And this was like the lowest patch, like the lowest one. It was like 0.02 mcgs of estrogen. And I said, oh my God, so you're going to start taking a spiral, the blocker now. And then, of course, she started taking a spiral blocker. And honey, we start off at 25. And then she's like, I don't feel anything. So we're like, we're going to do 50. At 50, girl, she's like, ooh, honey, I'm pissing like a horse. Okay. And so she stayed there, even though the doctor told her 100, she stayed at 50. And when I tell y'all, in a matter of like 6 months, this was like a 37-year-old. Of course, Indians are not like muscular. Let's say like workout and supplement. Like they're already like small, you know, um, physique and stuff. But yeah, she was like, girl, she was like, it was like, damn, girl, I can't believe it's only been 6 months and blah, blah, blah. And she was loving it. Even like her facial hair, y'all. Of course, laser helps get rid of the facial hair, but even her facial hair was like starting to get affected. It was getting spotty and shit. I was like, oh, girl, it's all about genetics, honey. I'm a little jealous, honey. Cause girl, a bitch like me had to get fucking laser, and I wasn't even a hairy bitch like that. Hello, I just had the goatee. But I'm like, girl, honey, and it wasn't even a full goatee. So I was like, damn, I gotta get the laser. And you're not getting the laser like that, bitch. Fuck you. Anyway, but the lowest thing. So I'm like, this is a 38-year-old full grown man who was a construction worker who like ran a lot of men. Like he wasn't buff, but he had something there. And it's like to go into being this soft, feminine Indian woman. And of course, we have not talked. It's been like, I think 3 or 4 years now. When I told them that I was going to be relocating, they were like, no, don't leave me. And I was like, oh, baby, you're going to do good, honey. Then, of course, they got a divorce at that time. By the time I was completely out, that was about a good, yeah, that was about a good 3 years. In a 3 year time span, he went from this strong, muscular man. So I'm just like, 6 milligrams, girl. Like, girl. Like, and of course, these people, I've never seen their body in reality. They would Photoshop stuff, but I'm like, damn, 600 milligrams and you're still hard. And the same thing with girls that don't take hormones. Some of the girls, I'm like, yeah, if you're naturally meant to be a woman, you're going to be soft even without the hormones. But I know some girls that rather get the surgery than be on hormones. But I'm like, now you're going to be like an old, funny built bitch. Because now you're going to look like a Mr. Potato Head. You're going to look like a giraffe mixed with a gorilla, mixed with a monkey with a cat. Because, like, on males, certain body parts look different than on females and stuff. And even going to when your body starts shifting in your 40s, like, that's going to, like, throw shit off. Where it's like when hormones kind of keep the foundation where it's at. So it's like, even if you're not on a full dose of hormones, you should at least say something. But no, they don't want to because they want to be able to, do certain things. And it's just like, girl, okay, go in and get the plastic surgery done in and fuck it, have yourself looking like a hopper sketch girl, a sketch hop girl, have yourself looking like a Miss Potato Head girl. Go ahead, you're gonna be looking like a manly woman. It's of course some people don't mind that, but yes, let me go. Love and light. Okay, girl, I thought I heard 600. No, six. Mm-mm. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by here, honey. Yeah, before you leave, what do you think works faster, the shot, patch, or pills? Honest opinion, patches. The patches. My honest opinion. I think with the injections, they did say that the injectable work, and I have seen some fishy people with the injectables, but I noticed with the injectables, these fishy people still have masculine traits. The whole purpose of taking hormones is to stop the sexual characteristics of what you were born. So if you are on hormones, you getting erections and stuff and all that. I mean, that's not supposed to be. People on shots, they're still waking up with morning boners. At least people on pills, I've not heard that. But with shots, people are still waking up with boners and shit, without getting too graphical. With the patches, I can even say mood wise. I've never taken the injectables. Oh, I take it back. I was injected one time. Not a fan of needles, so no, thank you. The pills, they did work, but I did feel like psychologically, like I did start to feel a little something, like I was more emotional. I felt like I wanted to like be even more distance. With the patches, you just feel mellow. Yeah, you just feel mellow. You just feel like Okay, like it slowly gives you that feeling. I would say the patches are very annoying though, because you have to put it on you. And yeah, you got to change it out every 4 days. So of course you got to switch it around. So you start to see the little adhesive because it stays on you for days. Um, but yeah, honey. Oh, look at my baby. He woke up now. You ready to go for a walk? You ready to go for a walk, my baby girl? Yeah, I can't believe my baby is 13 years old. My baby is 13 years old, honey. And shout out to Wondermatics. Wondermatics sent them some birthday money too, honey. Well, their birthday was in March, honey. Wondermatics said, and happy birthday to Anubis and Bella. Their birthday is a day apart, 2 days apart from each other. Well, let me see. Oh, 3 days. Yeah, their birthday is 3 days apart, honey. Mm, yeah, honey. My baby, 13 years old, girl. He got the energy of a puppy. Huh. Yeah, you got the energy of a puppy, huh? So yes, honey, and oh yes, honey, oh whole 5 o'clock, right? It's 5 o'clock. So the shots are basically a speed up process because I know some of the girls I work with missed their shot for a week, and two of them got a whole 5 o'clock. Well, also they have to do laser. Laser have to, laser. Like the facial hair on men and women are like wool, like they're really strong hairs. So you have to like really burn those hairs away. So you have to do that. But I know missing like the shot and stuff, that's another thing too with any other medicine. Like you cannot like take it and not take it. Take it and not take it. Like I used to think that cycling was good. And when I met my current uh guy OBGYN, she's like, "Who told you that?" And I was like, "Why, I thought that's what it," and she's like, "No. Medicine needs to be consistent, and your body takes on these medicines like a new aspect of yourself. When you miss the dosage, or you miss the time, or you decide when in hell you're going to do it, the body will just start saying, oh, well, let's get rid of it. And so it becomes ineffective. And so it has to be consistent. I know with the patches, it does bring consistency. I think the patches are the most expensive form of hormones, by the way, because it is very effective. And a patch and a T blocker, not a T cell blocker. Oh my god, and a T blocker, a patch and a T blocker, girl, you're good. And yeah, you're good, honey. Transition is not for everybody. We'll keep it at that. And it was your becoming right, right, right. Come on in here. I know that's right, honey. Okay, okay. Come on in here, honey. Yes, happy birthday. I know. Ooh, they're ready. They're ready to go outside, honey. Anubis, I take them on a walk or a run every day or every other day for like 30 minutes, y'all. And it's so crazy to think about this. In 30 minutes, we do 2 miles. And 2 miles of walking fast, y'all. Does that mean I'm a fast walker? Let me see that right now. Does that mean I'm a fast walker? And I walk with them and won't even walk that fast. It seems like we walk slow. Let me see. Is walking 2 miles in 30 minutes fast? Oh, they're not saying it. They're not saying it, girl. They're just telling you that you're walking so many miles. You're walking 3 miles per hour. I mean, that's how you lose your weight, girl. Okay. That's how you lose your weight. Okay. My fair share is so coarse, I need to get laser. But girl, out here in Houston, it's like Church said about LA is 45 chick man. I guess it's not as common in my area. Money laser to draw. Right, and that's a good investment too. Um, I do know there is at-home treatments that work as well, but you have to get in and let that big machine break you down for at least 3 sessions. So of course you can get like care credit, you can get like a credit card and pay it if you're not able to financially do it, but that is your biggest investment. I think more than anything. I think, yeah, getting rid of your facial hair, I think, yeah, I think yeah, I think that's probably the most possible thing you could do. Because there's people that got everything else done, and there's no shade. Like, I know a girl who had a whole FFS done allegedly, but she still get facial hair, and I'm just like, how did you have an FFS with facial hair still? You like women don't have beard and mustaches though, so I'm confused. Like, how do you have an FFS with a beard? Like, that doesn't make sense to me, girl. Like, boobs, okay, you can hide it with makeup. Your ass, okay, you can hide that with makeup too. But your face, you're clearly working on face. Why not get the laser to be soft? I don't know. I like even feeling my soft face. You know what I mean? And I do need the bleach above my lip though, because I think I had a little bit of hyperpigmentation from a laser got me, because I could see like a little dark area there, but when you feel it, there's no hair there. Like right now I'm feeling on it. There's no hair, girl. Like, it's bald skin. It's bare bald skin. But I could see like a dim light there. So I'm like, I think it's hyperpigmentation. So I'm gonna have to like get some, probably go over there to that one lady and say, yeah, can you do like a scrub? I come to your stuff where you can scrub my face and bleach right there just to get that area even back to my skin tone. Cause girl, that's crazy. She's like, Charles more effective than laser. It is. I did both electrolysis and laser. Electrolysis helps with the stubborn hair. Laser helps with the not so stubborn hair. The only downfall is that facial hair removal is a process that transgender people are going to always have to do for the rest of their life. That's the only downfall. Because yes, the hair you do get lasered off, but when you get to be like 40 or 50, you got to do it again, because now you have this peri phase of hair coming in, and the laser only got your younger hair, so now you got to get the older hair. So, like I said, what I did was, and I recommend because I know people that have good results, go to the laser place, do like 3 sessions. While you're doing 3 sessions, go to electrolysis and do 3 to 6 sessions. And you could do small sessions, but tell them to do around your very lip, like your lip line, if you got hair there. And then once that's done, all together, this is about a good year. You're gonna go home and you're gonna get a at-home laser treatment. Now, of course, people are like, this one worked the best, that one worked the best. Listen, if you got to do it every day in the morning and at night, it's gonna work regardless. Because the at-home treatments, they don't go as deep, but they're gonna kill the hair on the surface. So I got one that I got from Amazon. I went back to look, it's not there. It's about 3 years old. And this one was, I think, like $65. And it says it's not for brown skin people, but I do use it on the lowest setting. And when I tell you, baby, it works. Because you get little stragglies, underneath the chin, on your cheek. And I go over there and bloop, 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 it gets it. And then, of course, that hair don't come back for some time, but I just do it. I did it every day consistent, then you lower it. So it says like once or twice a week, and then it goes to once a week. No, no. I did it twice a day in the morning and at night for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then the fourth or fifth month, you go into doing it once a day. And then you lower it on the third month once every other day, and then so forth and so forth, and then you'll see your results. Yeah. Oh, Ambi. Okay. Well, you know what? I wonder if that would actually work, because I remember on my boobs, you know what? I'm thinking about it now. When they lasered my boobs, because I used to get little tiny baby hairs on my boobs, y'all. And it was after I got my implants, which is so weird. Before I got my implants, I never had hair on my chest. When I got my implants, it was like hair started growing. And so they lasered and I got burnt. And so it looked like I was getting burnt all over my titties, y'all. Girl was giving some weird shit. And so I got some CeraVe Kojic serum, and I think it was called alpha arbutin. and I rubbed it there. And literally the third day, I started to see the pigment lift. And after a week, it was gone, where it's all one color now. And so I'm like, whoa. So, wow. So maybe that will work for my face too. Yeah, alpha arbutin is arbutin or arbutin. Alpha arbutin, arbutin. Yeah, alpha arbutin. And then I'm going to put the Kojic, Sun Kojic. And then I'm going to do, I probably won't eat the Ambi. Never thought about that, honey. Oh, probably because of hydroquinone. You see, I don't want to fuck around with the hydroquinone. Honey. That shit, whatever you put on your skin, it gets into your body. And so, natural, I'm like, yes. Like vitamin C, turmeric oil, yes. Well, you're right. Maybe I should do that. Yes, honey. I do the spot technique with the Q-tip. Okay. Yeah, I think it's alpha arbutin, and then it's Kojic soap, and then they have a because I was doing it for my elbows too. Your elbows get a lot of dead skin there, and so I was using the turmeric with the vitamin C and the honey, Manuka honey. But I think my skin, because I have very sensitive skin, I started to break out and I stopped. And it did clear up the dead skin, but I stopped. But I should have stayed on it because I'm looking right now and my elbow don't have the dead skin, but I see a dark spot next to it. So I'm like, ooh, I should have stayed on top of that bitch. But yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that, honey. I could go get some Ambi cleanser. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Thank you. Yes, honey. Get on the live later if you can. Love your post. Thank you so much, honey. Yeah, I want to actually do something where I'm putting together. I had an idea for somebody that I saw do something that I want to do. Ooh. And I said, oh, that's a good idea. Because on YouTube, you can schedule out your lives. And this man scheduled out his lives to where it looked like he's on live all day, y'all. Where you're like, damn, this bitch is always fucking live. But I'm like, oh, that'll be good for my videos. Yeah, that'd be good to schedule out, like make some videos only for that and schedule them out. And I know that's going to take some time though, y'all. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to commit to that this week. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to do it on my channel though. I don't know if I'm going to do it and make a whole nother channel for it. But we're definitely gonna put together a little something something. Ah! Where my pants at? Yeah, we definitely gonna put together a little something something, honey. Yes, honey. Can we put something together? Hey, can we put something together? Yeah. Hey, can we put something together? Hey, can we put something together? Yeah. Okay, y'all. Let me get up out of here, honey. And put on these pants. And love and light, you all. Love and truth. And as I always say, protect the children. Protect the animals. Especially if they have four legs and they bark. Oh, what is what is that? Oh my God. Let me see something. One of the little plastic things. That's crazy, y'all. Let me see, because that's what it feels like. Yeah, one of the little plastic things from the pods fucked up my motherfucking pants. I feel it. But guess what? I'm still gonna wear them. Girl, I'm about to go exercise. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about that. You gotta fuck it from the back. Gotta fuck it from the back. Anyway, y'all. Bye for now, y'all. Love and light. See y'all later.